and strap in for a long one because I'm going to be making a very long pathway. This is something that is required because I'm playing Skygloo, my hardcore challenge that I've survived 212 days in, wow, where my goal is to never go below Y200. So far, that has gotten us, surprisingly, pandas, it's gotten us sheep, ice farms, and all of the wonderful things that are going to make this delightful house. But today I want to take things up a step further because I recently got my hands on lava. But what use is lava by itself? If you want to make an enchantment table or a nether portal, you need 10 lava, and the amount of effort it took me to get this one, I made a redstone machine, that's how far I went, made me realize that, you know, if we're going to do this, we're going to need to do it good. And so what are we going to do? I'm going to empty out my entire inventory, fill it with oak log or with spruce logs. I have a whole chest of full ready of these, and then I'm going to be making a long pathway out to negative 8,000 on the Z and positive, I think it's 11,000 on the X. This is a very important thing. It's something I did have to test before the stream because I have built long pathways in the wrong direction before, and it's going to be a long stream, and so, you know, grab yourself a beverage, or don't. You know, have a dry mouth for all I care. But if you want to have a more enjoyable stream, just know it's going to be a big one. So first things we're going to do is we're going to unload our inventory because every single slot is going to count. I need to place 19,000 blocks, and so legitimately every single spare inventory spot is going to be crucial, which means we're just going to unload everything and anything that we humanly can into here. Okay, that's easy step one, I guess. Then step two is going to be loading up all of the ice and other blocks that we can. I've got a ton of ice here, I've got a ton of ice here, and I've got a chest boat that is filled with even more of it, and that should be enough for us to make it most of the way to where we want to go today. So, yeah, just to confirm, Dasher asked the coordinates. The coordinates for where we're going is 11,000 X minus X,000 Z. So you've got it mixed up in your message there, probably because I communicated it Z first and then X second, which is confusing on my behalf. Anyways, we're going to mine our last bit of ice for a few days, and then we're going on a big voyage, and so join me for a long one. You know, let's be honest, we're only going to talk about Minecraft the entire way, so if you're looking forward to a mildly philosophical discussion, or, you know, you enjoy the hanging out that happens on a long session like this, nope, it's hardcore Minecraft, so the whole way I'll just be going, oh no, am I going to die? No, I'm not going to die. Oh no, I might die. It's going to be the entire way. It's going to be great. I'm looking forward to it. I've emotionally allotted about 3.5, 4 hours, but I have no idea how long this could maybe even take. So this is a full chest full of spruce logs, and this is a full chest boat full of ice. And between these two things, we should be able to get some decent progress made. It's still going to be beyond terrifying. I'm going to use a controller because there is some issues of mouse and controller right now. I should really check my controller batteries are fine. Yeah, if they die at the wrong moment, I would be dead. But yeah, we're going to go on a little bit of a voyage right now. Ooh, along this long pathway. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, with that said, good evening, sir. How are you this evening? Good to see you, Polly. I'm doing good today. If I fall off this, a reminder, I will die, and the entire 212 days of hardcore will be for nothing. That would be bad. I mean, in my personal opinion. Okay, so here we go. Here we go. We got this. We got the air. We're moving places. I usually am not this cautious of ice, but today I feel like we have to be a little bit. So I previously built this ice pathway, and it takes off 1,000 blocks of our journey because I wanted to go to a jungle. And so it's just a nice little feature. But one of the weird features of building the pathway out of ice is that mobs do spawn on ice. And so you can sometimes find polar bears! And it's very important you don't find polar bears. Although they can't get in a chest boat, so it's actually fine. We'll just slide right past them and hope no children spawn. Polar bears and regular boats would be a nightmare because if babies spawn near them, they'd hit me, I'd fall off. Life would be a disaster. Honestly, I learned that on Bedrock, mobs can spawn on ice. It's one of those facts that just, you know, should be standard knowledge. But I never really thought about it. I just assumed it was a bug or a... But because mobs can spawn on ice on Bedrock, this is actually the most dangerous way to do a pathway. Bottom slabs would be the safest way. And so this is going to be a bit of a risky route at first. And I'm very, very aware of that fact. but it's just got to be okay. It's just got to be okay. We have no other choices, and so it will be okay. So yeah, this is my little midway point station. And this midway point station exists right here to allow me to go off to the jungle, which is great. But also, it's going to be where I leave these resources, and simply, I'm just going to unload the ice every time I need it by coming back here. I could bring it along with me, I guess, too. That wouldn't be terrible. But yeah, let's just be very careful picking up this boat. I have been careful, but I have no inventory space because I just filled it up. So we'll drop a pile of ice on the ground. Hope that doesn't go anywhere too dangerous. Oh, it really flies. Then we'll place this boat on a little pillar here just to, you know, decoration reasons. And then we're going to start placing... Oh, no, 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 no. Let's go. So yeah, I don't have any beds with me, which is a bit of a flaw, really. I could bring this bed around with me because I don't need respawn points. So we'll probably do that after we've unloaded. Okay, chat. The bridge begins. You ready for 19,000 blocks of excitement? I bet you are. So, yeah, what a jump scare. My palms are sweaty. Perfect timing, right? I just spoke about the issue he presents, and then he presented an issue. Or rather, I'm being very gender role specific to polar bears. How do I know if it's a he or a she without any children around? Well, I mean, even with the children around, how would I know? But it is a funny thing that in society we name like things we care about women, you know, like ships and cars, and things that are like aggressive and mean, like men, you know, like a volcano, and or like hurricanes, right? Or a hurricane's named after women. No, Katrina is a woman. I think they used to be named after men, and it like cycled around. Anyway, I have to be very, very careful about this, but I think as long as I crouch, I'm going to be entirely fine. So I don't worry about a polar bear spawning close enough behind me to catch up with me. We just have to get through this absolute wasteland of a ice biome. Because once we're out of the ice biome, I feel like everything will look up for us emotionally. If we find new biomes, we'll be able to take the biome-specific things from them. So we could only find bamboo by fishing in a jungle. There are benefits to being in a savanna biome, for example. Benefits to being in a desert that I think we could take advantage of, particularly with camel husks. Camel huskies is what my brain wanted to call them, but camel husks are coming soon. So there's a lot of benefits that we'd love to take advantage of. That would be great. Oh, also, I only brought 7 cooked chickens with me. That's not going to be enough. That's just not going to be enough. So what I'm going to need to do right now is go all the way back now. Because I need to go to sleep anyway. And then what we're also going to need to do is be very, very specific. So I think I should make a chest here and put all my ice inside that chest, by the way. And then take my chest boat back home to prevent anything from sleeping around me. Then I'm also going to put some slabs around here to make sure that nothing can kill me in my sleep. Because or rather that I can't wake up dead. Because that is a real, genuine fear of mine. As it should be of yours. I mean, I guess it's the most irrational fear, because like, what's the problem with waking up dead? It's how everyone pictures themselves dying. Not everyone likes to picture themselves dying, but if you do, you like to picture it happening in that way, I guess. Anyway, it's going to be a really, really fun project today, in terms of just the scale of it. But that's also what makes it so daunting. Like last week, I had to even postpone this project, so I was like, yeah, we need to be like fully ready and prepared. This isn't like a casual, let's just do it and see what happens kind of project. Which is sad in its own way, really, isn't it? So, they name hurricanes both masculine and feminine, but I don't know how they choose from the list they come up with. I think it's alphabetical, and they go all men and then all women. So, for a little bit, hurricanes will be men, and then for a little bit, hurricanes will be women. You know, that's called gender equality. You know, like, but I think what should I do about this? I guess nothing. Let's just get back in the boat, rotate it in a nice, safe spot. And then we're going all the way back home because I forgot food. I've been preparing for this voyage for so long, chat. But like any long journey, I feel like the moment, you know, you have such a desire to like, let's just get going, that you're always going to forget something. At least I do when I leave the house. Does anyone else have that last minute fear of like, did I shut the door? I don't remember shutting the door, so it feels like, you know, I must not have done that. I met my biological father recently, chat, and he lives like 3 doors down from a pub. Like literally, I'm not like that isn't like a British expression. Like if he lives at number 12, the pub is number 4, right? If you can picture the street. So, yeah, basically, while we were in the pub, he had a moment where he was like, I don't remember if I locked the door. And I was like, you know, like, and he was like, he was really distraught about it. And he's like, yeah, did I? And he asked his wife, and he's like, I don't remember you doing it. And he's like, oh, no, I have... I better go back. And I was like, oh, you can get a video doorbell. He's like, I got a video doorbell, but now I don't remember if I've put any batteries in it. So I thought it was like a funny moment on that level. But it's also kind of the fun thing about, like, one, no matter how many precautions you take, you're always going to be, like, fearful of something. But, yeah, which, you know, theoretically could be solved by technology, but isn't. But two, I would like to point out, like, the odds of chat, it's scary. I'm getting goosebumps all over my body doing this. Because again, it would just be such a waste of so many days. I rarely make mistakes on these pathways. It's very, very rare. I think the brain is pretty good at self-correcting. But with that shield being so big right now too, I think we need to... Oh, I can't move my shield while I'm in a boat. It's not one of your options that you have. It's not the Java edition out here. Polly, Toycat, did you know your mods are amazing people? I hope you appreciate them enough. My mods really are amazing people. I'm very lucky to have the ones that I do have, yeah. Ooh, there we go. Slot it in right there. Call it a day, and then we'll take that one back, I guess. I mean, we probably need to also take the ice, but we'll take that boat over, and that will save me at least some effort in the future. But anyway, yeah, chat. I think one of the weirdest bits about, you know, community in any sense of that word is you get a bunch of people. And when you have a bunch of people, you inevitably get some who are like actively, you know, distressing in how they interact with the world. You get some people who are like, man, this is someone who is calling for help, and the best they can do it with is us, and, you know, it's kind of down to you to how you can interpret with or deal with that information. But you also get all sorts of people who genuinely are trying their best to just help. And it's really cool to know that there are people who genuinely are just like, yeah, this is something I like. How do I help it? It's like, it's a challenge in its own way to like make sure that you notice and appreciate that for sure. But yeah, do you have the mouse bug where your mouse cursor can go off the screen? I've been having that forever. Weirdly enough, I don't think I do have it here. Yeah, I've been having that forever, Canby, but I don't have it right now. But I'm playing with controller just to make sure that I don't make any mistakes today. Because it's a high-stakes stream. It's not one we can be making a giant mistake on. Okay, back to the bridging. This is the nature of skygloo. I'm going to pick up a few extra ice blocks. Might help the path go a little bit further out. So I beg you, don't put any torches near that ice. Yeah, I need to... I think ice melts at light level, is it 7? So I need to keep the torches at least 6 or 7 blocks away. Hey, Dantio4! Thank you so much for becoming the 395th channel member. I tell you what, if we get this stream past the 3-hour mark without dying, how about chat? I'll promise to do that for you. Nice long stream. If you can get me to 400 members, because that would be enough to make me feel, ooh, a little extra good, I think. Okay, so we're going to bring this out with us now. There we go. Yeah, easy peasy. Let's go. Okay. So it's always terrifying to do this, but I think I found my stride earlier this time, at least. Yeah, we're good. I just got a monitor to play with, by the way, right when this bug happens. Yeah, I have a second monitor, but it's just my, it's, what's the name of it? Like a prompter? But I don't really use it as a second monitor. I think I should. Like, I should put chat up there so I'd look you in the eyes when I'm talking to you. But it's slightly too small for that. I think I need a bigger one. I'm broke to buy member, says G-Star. You know, if you're broke to buy member, then what you can dream of. You know, honestly, so again, I'm going to say this, like, in general, for any YouTuber you care about or any Minecoins or whatever you want to buy, Google Play Rewards is, like, the best way to be able to, like, get stuff without having money. Like, I don't know, like, I think there's, like, different types of broke, right? There's, like, I'm broke and there is nothing I can do about it, and there's nothing I want to do about it, so please stop telling me. And then there's I'm broke because, you know, at my stage in life, there is no money available to me that is not being used on something. And I feel like if it's that, like, second type... Like, Mechanical Turk, I think, used to be a real good one, like, 10 years ago. Nowadays, you know, might not pay first world per hour rates, but if you just want, like, some stuff in video games, I find Google Play Opinion Rewards is incredible. Why did we start so late for such a long stream? Nasha, I tried to start. Honestly, I'm having a real crisis of getting streams. Like, I think this is something... I think I am too... Oh god, I can't see when the ice pathway ends, by the way. Like, is it going to end there? Yeah, ice and clouds are not a good combination for the sake of this right here. I do not like this in the slightest. Yeah, I've been having a... I don't like to admit this. This is kind of following on from what I said in my... I feel like there's like two ways to deal with things, right? One is to like outwardly and openly beat it and make it clear, and then everyone and yourself are on the same message about it. And that is like a valid way to deal with a lot of things. But I feel like I really like streaming when it feels like an option. When I have a stream that I know I need to do, that I think would be a good one to do all in one, I'm like, this is stressful. I have to do that at some... Like, it becomes a to-do rather than a... And so, like... Can you disable clouds on Bedrock? Yeah, I usually don't, but I think for the sake of this stream, I think it might save my life if we just disable clouds. So, let's go to video. Disable clouds. Where is it? Render clouds. No, thank you. Don't need to be doing that. It makes my life a lot better. My QOL is going through the roof right now. So, yeah, look at this terrain, by the way. Beautiful stuff. I made a World of Outsheets for the first time, and it's so fun. Man, I'm amazed that you are doing that for the first time. I cannot stress to you how much more fun Minecraft is when it is a more challenging game. I can't stress to you how much more fun life is. It's something that is so hard to learn because it doesn't feel true. But life is about challenge. It's when something is too challenging that it's not fun. That's awful. But you want to find that, like, sweet spot of challenge. For me, the sweet spot of challenge is, can I place 19,000 blocks in a row? And we'll see. I was going to stream, but then I saw you streaming, so thanks for that. Eh. See, that's good. My stream has... I mean, I would argue, actually, that's doing a bad thing for the world. But, the challenge for this one is going above Y200. Exactly. We do not go below Y200 for any advantage. That's the name of the That's the name of the game. The frozen ocean is more beautiful if the ocean's completely frozen. Yeah, it's so ugly. It's so ugly. Someone at Mojang was like, yes, this is the change. I am starting to really fall down heavily on the opinion that the drop system is causing Mojang to rush things. Because how else do you explain, you know, the Bedrock update coming out with such major flaws in it? How else do you explain... Oh, we're going to be going back to get more ice perfectly in time to be able to sleep, by the way. Oh, the darkness is coming in so quickly. So it's a good time for me to have ran out of ice in my inventory. Ergo, tactical decision. Perfect. What I like to see. But yeah, we've made it through. I really have a weird feeling that, like, something will just go wrong today. I don't want it to. But that's why I'm feeling good that, like, you know, we made it today. Okay, so we want to really load out the inventory and then put in some logs. Load out some more inventory. That's why I'm feeling really good that we survived day 213 and or rather day 214. Because look at that. 214 days survived. And our bridge is now 1250 blocks long. We're definitely going to need a boat just for getting along the bridge, but because of the polar bears, I'm going to still do this via foot. It just becomes like more and more of a questionable decision to do it via foot. Clary Freight says, was it good? Oh, I wonder what they're talking about. Maybe the frozen ocean should be completely unfrozen. Yeah, you know, there's a weird philosophy in life that says that actually a lot of things are better rushed. You know, people always like to say good things take time. But you know what else takes time? Bad things. And you know what's better? Making one good thing, or rather making one bad thing in 6 months, or making 10 bad things in 6 months. Always making the 10 bad things. Especially if there's a chance that one of those 10 bad things might be a good thing. I think basically every slogan that is popular that describes how things should be done has like a 99% chance that you can flip it around on its head. Like, you know, the idea that like absence makes the heart grow stronger and out of sight, out of mind. Directly contradictory phrases. Because we just like to describe things and we like to believe that it's some profound knowledge. But, you know, actually, I don't know that it is. I feel like, you know, working on a 19,000 block road seems like it's something, you know, is this a futile task? Or is this actually the cool, you know, Minecraft is all about placing blocks. Am I getting to do the coolest bit of Minecraft 19,000 times in a row? Kind of an argument, right? My stomach is not watching this. This is distracting slightly from the infected tooth. Sorry to hear about your infected tooth. Man, an infected tooth sounds really not fun, by the way. I think Minecraft... Oh, it crashed! Let's hope I'm still alive. That's a new one. Has Minecraft ever just crashed while I've been playing skygloo? So yeah, okay, perfect example of how Minecraft feels a bit rushed these days. Minecraft rolled out a bug fix update, then they rolled out a bug fix update to that bug fix update, and in that bug fix update for the bug fix update, there are so many bugs that are like fundamental bugs. Please don't be dead, 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 please don't be dead. Yeah, we're not dead, chat. I probably lost a few blocks of placing, but I will always take that over not being alive. It's a bit weird that it spawned me so far back there, actually, isn't it? Wait, did it spawn me really far back? I think it might have. I'm stressing the hell out. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna do my best to de-stress everyone right now. And remind us all that Minecraft is the chill game. And that placing blocks is one of the most chill parts of it. In my opinion, the most chill thing is when you are you got a long, easy project, you know what you're placing, and you can let your mind go to ease. And while your mind is at ease, you can wonder, you know, what is it like being dead? Is it like before you were born? Or is it a bit different, you know? Is it like dying eternally? Or is it even worse than that, actually? You know, can the conscious mind deal with not being conscious anymore? I heard recently something fun. That, like, you know, the idea of your life flashing before your eyes before you die. Some scientists have, like, measured that actually happening in the brain. That it is, like, your memory sensor, or the parts of your brain that store memories, they light up like crazy just before you die. And and I heard the theory about why that is that your brain is desperately thinking through every other situation you know, that you've been through in life, trying to think about a way to get out of this one. Because, you know, if you're being faced by a polar bear, if there's some knowledge about the last time you faced a polar bear, that'd be pretty good. That'd be really, really good, I think. You only lost 10 blocks of progress. Yeah, very chill. Playing hardcore is very chill indeed. Honestly, if you don't let playing Minecraft hardcore be chill, then Minecraft hardcore wins. You know, listen to this music. Isn't this nice? Isn't this beautiful? Isn't this something by itself? The clouds are back. Oh, that's funny. It must be turning off the clouds that crashed Minecraft. It's the only reasonable conclusion that I can draw from this. So we're actually, yeah, we're gonna make a bridge that's like 2,000 blocks long, and so I'll have to make a boat just to get back. Realistically, I think. It's horrendous pain getting extracted on Thursday. On Thursday. Man, that's if there is a day, that'd be the worst day, right? You know, it's Friday as we record this. You're like, don't worry, it's getting out on the next calendar day. But the furthest away day that can be named without saying next, you know, insert day here. Terrible. But yeah, I've heard this thing that your brain will, like, flash your entire life looking for like an answer to the problem that you're in right now. And on the surface, that's kind of cool and evolutionary, makes sense. But it's also something to be terrified of, right? Like, you know, all the times that you were, all the worst times, all the times you were closest to death, is that the last thing you see and then nothing? It's nice to, it certainly makes you realize that having a hardcore world, sure, the last thing you see is that, you know, the last thing you see is that little menu that says like, ooh, you died. Do you want to spectate the world? It makes you realize that, you know, that would be nice. That'd be a nice way to picture it, right? Instead of like playing a forceful montage of all your dumbest moments. For me, it'd be the time that a polar bear attacked me, followed by the time I fell off and survived by half a heart, followed by the time my Minecraft crashed. I think it's much nicer just to be like, you know, it's over. How's that going? And so what I'm saying here is I think that if we'd like to make a religion, if we'd like to believe what's going to happen next, I think we should do so based on the Minecraft value system. That is to say, I think that we should believe in a world where you get to spectate for a little bit and then you get to choose when you... Also, the clouds are all going out. No, they're not. Also, turning off clouds crashes Minecraft now. How broken can a game be? I like to believe it's unrelated, but it is a bit suspicious. By the way, looking around, I think it's important we make note of any biomes we pass in case we see any good ones. I mostly do want a desert, but I do see a village over there. So using the right tools, I could take the blacksmith chest. They might have something good for me. There's a ruined portal there that I could also scoop up using my flying machine. But as far as biomes go, I think I have nothing unique. Despite having now headed 1,700 blocks away from my spawn, it's still this exact same frozen ocean biome. That's not even a very good frozen ocean, chat. Mr. Toycat, I need peace. Please stop bridging so then you won't die while I'm away. How about I just take a pee at the same time and I'll take a pee facing this way. Is it take a pee? Take a pee break, I guess. Take a pee feels a bit juvenile. Or a bit like a juvenile who really enjoys their vegetables but doesn't like paying for them. Anyway, I've been having a stressful day thinking about a long stream chat. Only because I feel like the only way, I think the way I get through most things in life is by being like, this is a 2-hour task, but I could do it in 90 minutes. Or at least, you know, like, I find it really hard to be like, this is something that is just really long, and it just has to be really long. Like, streams I enjoy because we talk about, you know, death and Bedrock, and, you know, other things that are similes too. But I think the block placings reminded me of a certain moment where you jumped into lava to escape a ghast while 1 million blocks away from spawn. Yeah. One of my favorite moments to this day. The pain, in the moment, the pain was infinite. In the moment, I'd been speaking to YouTuber friends who were like, wow, that was such a cool idea for a stream, going 1 million blocks out. How'd you come up with that one? And in my soul, I was like, what a stupid idea this was. You know, anyone who thought this was a fun stream idea or a clever stream idea, they were stupid. They were stupid. Oh, Dasher says, what's your favorite thing about socialism, Toycat? So, you know, the problem with no politics today, chat. Not until we've made it to the mountain. Then we can go off on the world's most cancelable Minecraft stream. But yeah, right now, not in the cards, I think. Also, hi Toycat, me and my girlfriend are making a round for you to review. Are you thinking about doing a Valentine's couples round review? I would love to do a Valentine's couple round review. I am working on a big one for either early December or late November right now. Like, I think that's something I want to do a few of before the end of the year. I talk about this a lot, that like December, because I was sick last weekend, I had 3-ish days where I basically got to live like it was Christmas. I had all the food leftovers because I hosted a Halloween party that no one showed up to. I had all the food leftovers. I was on the sofa playing video games a lot. I think I played like, you know, 12 hours of Outer Worlds 2. And it's been exclusively via, you know, like 1 a.m. sessions while I've been wearing a Teletubby onesie. It's been great. Yeah, it was a good little moment, and it made me realize, like, you know, this is the moment I would love to like chew my teeth into a 3-hour, 4-hour long YouTube video about something I was passionate about, and that made me realize, like, you know what, I think that it's my duty to make one of those. I think it's my duty to make one of those before the year is over, so that when, you know, when it's when it's December 28th, whether you look for it and you remember it's there or you see it in your sub box, you get that thing about your favorite specific interest. And so yeah, I also intend to do a round review a bit bigger to account for the fact that we do them less now. And yeah, I'm basically having some fun coming up with those ideas. One of my favorite moments in Minecraft is being bad at building. Okay, G-Star, I'm glad. Also, I bet you're glad I read out 3 of your comments today. Make your 4th one something special, something that you want the world to see. Also, Kurt says, I think my message got drowned out, but I asked your opinions on the mid-offs, the speedrunning tournament run by Tobo that won an award at TwitchCon. Oh, that's fun. I haven't heard anything about it, so my opinion is cool. Hope it's successful. It sounds like it is. So yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to make a little... Now that we're at 2,000 blocks, we're going to just place a bottom slab there. And then off that, we place... Okay, I'm going to go down to the bottom slab. Then another bottom slab. Oh god, chat. What was that noise? Oh, it was the wood. Okay, it's just the wood. Then we're going to make a place for a bed. Ah, I hate that noise. Chat, does anyone like that noise, I guess, would be the more interesting question. Ah, okay. My controller was low on battery, and it picked the perfect time to let me know. But also an imperfect time, because I am standing out here in the middle of nowhere. My batteries have, I've recharged them so many times, they've stopped recharging. Didn't know that could happen. I'm going to be very, very, very careful about this. Chat, I don't want to die. I don't want to die. Someone yell if you see something important. Oh no, I don't have any fresh batteries. Yeah, I got these... I've started using a lot more batteries recently, and it's causing me all sorts of problems. But one of them is that some batteries are just not recharging anymore. So these are 2 fully charged batteries, but they're not actually going to be fully charged. Yeah, they don't do anything. So I don't have a controller, which means I have to deal with the mouse and keyboard issues that exist on Minecraft Java right now. I'll just throw these batteries out, I guess, but they're never working again. Risky. Also, pause. You're right, pause exists now. I could actually use it. So I'm going to place a few more blocks out this way. Chat, does anyone know at what light level ice melts? That should be fine. That should cover my... I bet that's fine. Yeah, I bet that's fine. I bet that's being more than cautious enough. And then I'll place a slab here too, just to make sure we've got options. And it is nighttime, so heading back makes some sense. But I kind of like the idea of, you know, let's head back anyway. Okay, let's do a run. Let's do a big run. Do. Man, this is one of my favorite Minecraft soundtrack songs. Anyone know off the top of their head what it is? It's like it's one of the newer ones. This is like beautiful. I'm glad I turned on the Minecraft music again. I turn it off for most of my videos, solely for the sake of fun edits. If you play windowed mode, the mouse bug isn't there. Oh, yeah, windowed mode. Coming in big. I play exclusively windowed mode. I know this is a crazy one to believe, but I play on one monitor because I am a YouTuber. I used to have a 4-monitor setup, and I loved it. And then I switched to an ultra-wide and a regular monitor. And then even the ultra-wide was giving me issues. And I was like, okay, just one reasonably large monitor. It's QHD, so it's got, like, basically the same as 41080p zones. It allows for a lot of things to be good while recording. But yeah, I think that's just me being a weird, like... I think there's a lot of things in life where you have to concede You are doing them because you're fitting in with the masses, or you're doing them specifically because you're not trying to fit in with the masses. Can mobs spawn up here? So they can spawn up here, but weirdly, none are. I'm guessing that, like, by the time they're within my simulation distance, they're too far away or something along those lines. But it is still quite confusing. Toy Cat, have you seen that video of the guy beating Minecraft on a smartwatch wild? No, but I love that. I love seeing people beat Minecraft on more and more inventive devices. Aaron Shiroff, My Goat. I don't think the song is called My Goat. Featherful? Is it Featherful? It's a nice one, that's for sure. But, yeah, chat, I've got to say, oh, I used to play on a windowed mode when alt-tabbing for full screen would kick you out of servers. Now I don't need to have the new GDK version. Yeah, I think that, I understand that full screen is better for most people in most situations, most of the time. But I like being able to, like, keep an eye on, like, windowed mode allows me to play like I've got multiple monitors on one monitor. And that you don't have to have, like, the bezels between them that are super ugly. It's like, you know, full screen mode makes sense in a monotask world. But in a world where, you know, dopamine is handed out like crack. And the mere concept. Okay, I've now got enough. Ah! How? Okay. Thank God for this zombie being the most docile thing in the world. I should be dead, chat. I'm going to be very careful in the future to make sure that I am not dead like that. So now I'm going to break my bed. Again, there's no respawns. It's hardcore. Bring the bed. And now we've got the perfect inventory to bring this out with me as I extend the bridge, or extend the boat. Yeah, no, the bridge. The bridge for the boat. Let's go. Oh. Don't love doing it with mouse and keyboard, but oh, we're perfectly straight. Oh. I'm zooming, chat. Oh, no, I'm not perfectly straight. I'm very slightly off center. Sadly. Getting boats perfectly straight is one of those, like, billion-dollar Minecraft problems to solve. Oh, on a keyboard, this sucks. I can't do this, chat. I can't do... A and D, like, binary is not the correct way to steer. Ah, it's terrible. How does anyone use a keyboard and mouse for steering a boat like this? You tap A for a microsecond, and it's like, yeah, would you like to go flying off the edge? And it's like, no, of course not. So I have to get myself in third person just to make sure. I could be okay, I'll pause. Ah, my batteries. Why do I not have any batteries? I had so many, chat. Okay, we just have to be good. I just have to get good. Okay. Oh, okay. This is awful. I talk a lot about how, like, I like controller as an input method, and people talk to me like I'm crazy. Like, well, you know, because mouse is better than a stick, right? And you can argue the mouse is better than a stick. Yeah, I would argue it's definitely more precise. But a stick is way more precise than a binary A and D button. The fact that my whole movement, I can't do it, chat. I don't want to do it. I hate the keyboard as an input device. What? No! I can't. I don't want to do it. I don't have any choice. I'm gonna grab my mostly dead batteries, and I'm gonna put them in just to get me out of this situation. This is as bad as it gets. Okay. I've got one fully charged battery, one partially charged battery. It'll do. Just plug it in like your cell phone charger. Oh no, okay, so I bought one of these. It's a battery pack that allows you to charge your controller like it's a phone or something. But Xbox controllers, everyone I've used at least, is like, no, we're not actually, like, I feel like PlayStation controllers get that better than Xbox controllers do. One thing I'd have to check before I started the stream. I guess there's a lot of things I got slightly wrong. Mum spaghetti. Stuff it right, meow. You can connect okay, so you can connect a PS4. Oh, I don't know what's happening. Nope. Okay, batteries aren't actually alive. So I could try and plug in. I don't even know why that went so wrong. Yeah, chat, I boned myself. I have not got the correct batteries for the predicament I'm in. This is dumb. I have nothing to say besides just look at this, right? Control, you wanna move left and right on a keyboard? Oh, there's not actually a choice. WASD is for. Oh, there we go. Walk for strafe left, strafe right. What if I want to like very minorly strafe left or strafe right? What if that's my decision? For the love of God, stop this nonsensical madness. Yeah! Sorry. I'm too on edge today. I'm too on edge. Yeah, I've got a PlayStation controller that's fully charged. How do you connect that to a PC? Do you just use a wire? I've got wires. I've got lots of wires. So, okay. This is why like everything being wireless sounds really good until you realize that means everything needs a battery. Okay, so this is a cable. This is my PlayStation 4 control, PlayStation 5 controller even. Oh, it's hefty, it's nice. I'm gonna plug this on this end. This is what happens when you don't take my advice. I've got a battery pack. It doesn't work. Oh. Okay. I plugged in my PlayStation 5 controller. It is claiming to work right now. So I'm a PlayStation pony for the rest. What just happened there? Chat. How does plugging in a PlayStation 5 make that happen? You're all hearing this, right? I'm not... Like, that's not... In what part of the software... Oh, that's the part of the software. It's, there's a microphone in the controller. Yeah, this is great. This is really stupid. This is the most stupid I think a thing could be. There we go. Why? Why is there a microphone in the controller which automatically activates? That is the wildest thing. Okay. So now I'm gonna have to resume game. Then we're gonna have to. It's been too long since I used a PlayStation controller. Okay, look at this. Okay. So now I want to move slightly, right? And I tap the controller. Do you see how I'm slightly tapping? Oh, you see how I'm slowly moving, which allows me to be precise. This is something that you just don't get. Wait, do you hear that noise? I hear something. Okay, so I think that's just a you issue. Mine battery set I sent you for is brilliant. I like the idea of having like a place I could leave my Xbox controller where it would always be charging. Okay. Yeah, so it's a little tricky to like get out of this situation. That again, I only got in because of how bad an A and D button are for controlling something like this. But look, now we go forwards and you just need micro adjustments. I think a lot of being good at using a controller is knowing how to use the movement 1 degree. In the same way, a lot of being good with a mouse is knowing how to, like, use your wrist, not your elbow. Don't lose your world. This is all way too dangerous. There's no danger unless if I have control over what I'm doing. All the danger you're perceiving is the on-edgeness I feel about things not working. It is, I am the anxious person, and you're all feeling my anxiety. Oh, there we go. Yeah, look at this speed. Look at this speed. We can pick up that speed, and it's fine. And you know why it's fine? Because I can... Look at these micro movements. It's not even like I'm like, oh, yeah, I have to really consciously focus on it. It's like, yeah, my brain can just... I think this is how human movements work, too. Have you ever noticed if you push someone, they should fall over, but their legs will instinctively adjust. Or like when your head is moving to the left, but something else is moving to the right, your eyes and your head can like adjust together. The body is really good at micro movements that just become like natural. And so, okay, yeah, it's a little terrifying when you over tap. Again, this is a new controller for me. I haven't used this to play Minecraft in forever. I'm only using it specifically because my thing is dead. But now we can get out of the boat. I mean, I hope it will let me out of the boat without killing me. Basically, let me out of the boat without killing me. And now we can leave this here, or we can bring it along with us. But I think a little bit of a break from the boat would be good for me. So let's get this out. Let's place a block or two, like here, maybe. Yeah, just like a few blocks on both sides. I think that would go a long way for my sanity. And then also, I think a crafting table, but I can't place a crafting table yet. So let's just stop. Get back to the bridging, chat. Back to the bridging. The secret to using a controller is not having a blown analog. I on my controller here, I don't know what blown analog means. I'm assuming you're not, making your analog feel like a very special controller. But I can't wait till they add pipes to Minecraft. You'll love David. I worked with someone who makes add-ons specifically to add smoking to Minecraft, solely for the benefit of one short. Take your shield off. I think the shield makes sense to stay on. It blocks vision, way too much vision, by the way. Like, I think I would love to download a resource pack that makes the shield reasonable. Like, if you're playing on a mobile device, maybe this makes sense. But on a PC, like, I don't know. So, yeah, rumor has it, Toycat hasn't responded to an email since 2021. Yeah, I declared email bankruptcy. I realized, like, every day I spend half an hour responding to emails. And only 1 or 2 emails a week have anything valuable in them. So why am I doing... Like, imagine any other form of work going that way. Like, imagine if you had to do laundry every day. Not because you wash clothes every day, but because you worried that if you didn't clean your clothes every day, the washing machine would get haunted and stop cleaning your clothes. Actually, that sounds like a joke, but I had someone living in my house that had to wash the washing machine before they'd wash their clothes in it. But you know how like demented that is? You know how like concerning of a set of behavior that is? You should know, and if you don't, then you're part of the problem. And so like I was realizing like, oh, I don't enjoy emails, so they're not for me. It's like if you like sending emails, then other people who like receiving emails and then sending emails back, those people and you can send your emails to each other all day long. But you can't say that I have to send emails, you know? Like I think it would be antisocial to say, I think, I think it is a maybe problematic stance if I was to say like, well, but I think everyone should respond to my emails. But it's like, no, I get it. I'm such a big believer that the world should just operate on emails. Like, isn't it kind of crazy how many services where you want to get in touch about something and they're like, yeah, just give us a call on this number. And you want to be like, but I don't want to talk to a human being. I just want to get the information that I need and then move on in my life. I'd rather DM Toycat once a month. Send me an email once a month, like a real person. Also, David definitely put a real personal heartfelt message in the tip, and he won't see it. Oh, thank you, David. Wait, oh god. Okay, so now we need to move this along, but I can't move this along. I mean, I can move it along. I've just got to continuously get out, and no, it's not going to work. So I will put down my bed, though. No, I'll put down the bed where I go next. It's almost bedtime, but that's fine. Let's go. Let's get some distance covered today, chat. Let's get some real distance covered today. David says he likes emails. I'm a believer in emails in the sense that, like, I like that it's asynchronous. And I like that, I like in theory that everyone in the world, you know, like, it's like the digital version of letter writing, but I hate that emails have become. I think, you know, some people will blame AI for this. I would blame, you know, I would blame the nature of people who see email as a marketing tool, because the more people, like, I know, I think this is true for, like, you know, influencers, but like influencers who would call themselves influencers as opposed to, you know, content creators or enthusiasts. But now, if you are an influencer and you talk in that one voice that kind of sounds a bit like this, it's very softly spoken, then, like, it's implied that what you want to do with your life is you want to do advertisements for places to eat or go or whatever else. Your job is to make places sound good so that your followers will go and eat, consume, or whatever there. I have 60k unread emails in my Gmail alone. Yeah, I hit, I think 30,000 when I switched email. I think you have to, like, this is the reality, right? Because as soon as a medium becomes a marketing, like, as soon as a medium becomes right for marketing, it ceases to be as valuable for person-to-person communication. And I think this is probably true even if it doesn't become a marketing one. I hate emails because I feel so obligated to make it professional. Then I get back like a reply like, okay, John, sent from my iPhone. Yeah, I think outside of if I'm doing something that is like, I think 99% of my emails are sent super informally, super, like I'm just trying, you wanted information from me and I'm going to give it to you. Which I've heard is a common, like, flaw in understanding human conversation. And I think in person-to-person conversation, I understand now quite well that when people ask you something, they don't just want you to share information with them. It's a common social faux pas to answer someone's question factually, rather than, you know, like, to use it as a ping pong ball that they can hit back at you. Also, hey, I was trying to reach you about Black Ops 7 codes from Little Caesars. I don't know if they work for you when 6 came out because of your location. Oh, I remember that I did get codes from one version of Call of Duty and it didn't work. But I remember there was another one that did work. I love Little Caesars, so please send me a Little Caesars pizza instead. I know that's a controversial opinion. I think, you know, it's, I think that in the same way, I honestly, I think that pizza is just cheese. That's what makes it good. Cheese and pepperoni. The bread and the tomato sauce are just there so you can argue that it's a meal. All I really want in life is as much cheese and tomato sauce as possible. And I feel like only Little Caesars gets me. Only Little Caesars gets me. Yet marketing is what killed email and SMS is next. Oh, yeah, yeah, it's I guess it's a thing, right? That, like, even if the number of marketing versions of blank stays the same, because fewer and fewer regular people send them, you get far less, you know, mileage from it. Like, chat, no one I know texts anymore. I had to text someone recently. I forget who I had to text. Let me find out. It's fine. I'm crouching. I had to text someone recently. Oh, it was my, I had to text a solicitor. That's lawyer in American English. And, thankfully they were super informal about it. Also sent me an email for a change. You know, new Toy Cat stream, for every $5 I get, I'll send you an email. It'll be in the proper form of, like, oh, dearest Dasher, it was a delight to catch up with you this recent winter's eve. You see, there has been a problem at the emailing department, and I've noticed that I've not been sending any. I'm sorry for any inconvenience this causes. If you have any issues with my lack of responses, please refer to the former. Yours sincerely, Mr. Toycat. That's why I never answer phone calls. It's never someone I want to talk to. Oh, yeah. I think, like, this is a rule that can't work, but it's definitely the best rule if you want your life to go best. Like, never respond to an inbound text, phone call, or email. Only respond when you have sent out a message first. Yeah, you know? I almost want there to be a function where, like, Although, you know, I've missed a few important phone calls recently, chat, because of this. I will say, like, I called my, I got a call from my doc. No, I called my doctor, and they said they put me in a queue. And so I put my phone down, and then 5 minutes later came back, and they'd called me. And I was like, it's the end of the day. I missed, because chat, I pooped in a bag, right? I pooped in a few bags. And my doctor was like, yeah, these will determine whether you're okay or not. And I sent them to the doctor, and I've heard nothing back about it. Which is just, you know, like, I feel like the amount of effort, you know, feeling like a cat, pooping in the shower, I just want to feel like I get a message back saying you don't have bowel cancer, and I can move on with my life. If a solicitor is a lawyer, what do you call someone who comes to the door to sell things? Oh, that's a lawyer. No, yeah. I think they are also soliciting, right? I always answer the phone, like to talk to randos. See, do you actually, David? You know, see that's gotta be contrarian. There's no way that's I do like answering the phone when if I guess you just have to go into it with lowered enough expectations where you're like, yeah, I don't care. I think any medium you can go into where you don't actually care makes life a bit better. But yeah, I also wait. We selling Eat Boy poop on the store now. Look, sometimes you have to expand into new business models. It's a changing world out there, and people don't buy the t-shirts like they used to. So I've had to start pooping in bags. I'm on my bestie Jaden's stream. He sometimes calls me his manager. When I have a problem with me, he says I should talk to his manager. It's fun. I like that a lot. Being solicited means something very different in the US. I mean, you know, sometimes I do see the also, it's literally all upside. Someone wants to scam me, I'll scam them right back. Yeah, I do think that scammers need to be scammed a bit more. I think that's a good rule for life. You'll get a letter back. Anyway, I did after I pooped in a bag. I never get letters about anything. Like, okay, chat. So I committed a traffic offense 13 days ago now. For the first time in my life, I ran a red light, and I've only ever seen in the UK like 2 red light cameras, because who runs red lights? But it's just so happened the second red light camera I've ever seen happened to catch me as I'm, you know, it's like it's one of those like it's one of those lights that's like round a corner, and by the time you see it and it's gone yellow, you're like, if I did a full emergency stop, I would still be over the line. So I'm just gonna keep going, and then it went red just before I went over. Camera flashed me, whole nightmare. And I looked it up, and it's like, oh yeah, that's a £90 fine. Plus you get, you know, more expensive insurance. Plus you get some penalty points on your license. Get a few more of those, and you're gonna be boned. It was a really interesting like experience. But like, so I'm waiting on this letter about that too, chat, because I'm 100% sure that what I did was legal, meets all the criteria, etc. But I've also looked into it, and I've learned if they don't send you a fine within 2 weeks, it's not legally valid anymore. And so every day now I'm like looking for a letter, but also like desperately praying that it's not there. Like, because once it's there, it's like locked in, it's understood. There's no more uncertainty in my life. But now that it's day 13, I'm like, you know, I hope there's a post-boy strike going on soon or something like that. So yeah, that's what I would love a letter about my poop in a bag, but I'm sure I'm actually going to get a letter about my traffic offense. What's that lit thing to the right? It's a portal. I think that's a lava pit down there. On the left, there's a village, which is nice. It's kind of cool to cross a world at night here. But yeah, look at that. After 3,000 blocks almost, chat, we're going to leave the snowy biomes that we spawned in. You're supposed to slow down in case you need to stop at the lights. Yeah, well, you know, I think that is like probably advice I'll follow from now on. I definitely concede that I started really over-aggressive on red lights, so when it was yellow, I would slow down quite a bit. And you get so close to rear-ended enough times that you're like, actually, given that there's a 3-second leeway after the red light, it's better to go through on a yellow, even if you have to accelerate, than to stop, than to stop and like have someone hit you. I've definitely kind of taken that logic, and now I've taken it to its extreme, and slightly went through a red light. You know, it's funny because when it comes to speeding, everyone has their own rules, right? I think an analog rule, to go back to analog digital. So the reason I hate digital so much Or maybe the reason digital is so good, you could argue. That is to say on-off rather than continuous states of on. Like, everyone agrees that speed limits are a bit of a fudge. The speed limit, when it says 70, that means if you're doing 70.5 miles per hour, you're committing a crime. But most people do more than 70, usually only 71, 72. A lot of people do 77, 78. A lot of people do 80, 85, because they're like, well, you know, if it says 70, that means 80. And if it means 80, that means I could probably do 82, 83 on my speedometer. So everyone has their own views on this. This is why I hate crossing the road. But so this is like, that's the same thing though. Like that. Have you noticed when you cross the road, the cars will be stopped for what feels like an infinite amount of time, and then you get a green light. It's so they can ensure that even if someone runs the red light by a full 3 seconds, you don't get hit. Speed limits are like blood alcohol levels. Just got to use your judgment. That is not a statement I will be reporting for court purposes. Be repeating for court purposes, sorry. Anyway, if they hit me, they're too close anyway. I'm the if I die, we all die camp. I think like having a smaller vehicle, I really love it when it comes time to like leave the vehicle behind, which is what I do with it most of the time. But sometimes when I'm in it, I'm like, oh, this person could kill me and then be fine. They might not even notice they hit something, honestly. And something about that makes me realize, like, I think I would rather run the risk, you know, apparently, you know, hitting a red light if it's dark around a bend at a high-speed junction in North London, was passed by a giant lorry a month ago doing 100 miles per hour in a 65 mile per hour zone. See, that's bad, right? So everyone agrees that there's a 15 over is the rule, says Birdfly. Everyone has the 80 also means it's not acceptable to go 30. Everyone has their own rules about what digital means. But what's interesting is traffic lights aren't a analog rule. You know, the speed limit is analog. It's saying 70-ish. 69 is fine, 71's not. 70 is like, you know, there's some amount of wiggle. And that wiggle then immediately becomes subjective. That wiggle becomes immediately, ooh, it's raining. That's nice. Oh, that's all of my ice gone. It's a fun moment to have it happen. So at this point, what I actually have to do, I think, is I'm going to switch out to placing, because I don't have enough ice. Even after all the braking I did, I need to go out another 5,000 blocks worth of ice. I don't have it, but I might want to do that 5,000 blocks later. So what I'm going to do is I'll make my little bed spot here first. So that here, you know, enough spaces for a bed like this, and then all fully surrounded by these. Rain is theoretically very good because I could make myself the trident, but I haven't made myself the trident. So right now it's just a menace. And then we'll place down a bed. And I can't sleep in that bed yet, but I will one day. And then we'll just place a bunch of blocks over there, as well as like one to connect them. Later I'll remove this, it'll be fine. But now we're setting off on the fun part of the voyage, which is the part where I'm going to be placing slabs instead of ice. This is much safer because no mobs can spawn in it, and it's much more dangerous because, I don't know, I'm placing far more of them. Really, ice melts in the rain? Ice doesn't melt in the rain. Who said that? 10% plus 2, you're safe. Yeah, Days of Dana, you get it. You live in the right part of the right country to understand what I do. So I was driving, I think, 77 in the 70, knowing entirely that I had my plus 2 buffer functioning fine. I think I'm gonna turn off the clouds again. It might break Minecraft, but I think it's still worth doing. So video, clouds, render clouds off. There we go. And now I can run along this fairly safely, I would say. Is it nighttime again? Or is it just cloudy? It's probably just cloudy. So, yeah, I'm going to be very careful about running. Ooh, back into the snow. Where, by the way, my ice definitely won't melt. And we're going to go pick up that big boat that has all of the logs. Oh, I do not like this. There's like a bit of an optical illusion happening. Because the snow looks like it's not moving in front of me. But it is, I can assure you. But yeah, like, so traffic lights are this firm red. Everyone agrees don't go through in a red. No one says, like, well, go through in a red if it's dark or if you've had a bit to drink, you can go through on the red. Or like you specifically haven't had a bit to drink. No one says like, oh yeah, it's like the red plus 2 seconds is fine. Everyone universally agrees that like, I don't know, like even if it's 2 a.m., you haven't seen a car in 2 hours, and and there's a red light, and you can tell that it's for no reason, you still waited it. The red light has power in a way that a speed limit sign doesn't. And I think the best theory for this is something I've heard at least, is that, yeah, we respect firm yes-no rules, and we immediately, when we see a rule that has, like, a number attached, be that a fine, be that something else, they're like, well, that means you can sort of do it. That means you shouldn't do it. Because is 71 much worse than 70? Whereas going through a red is much worse than not going through a red. Won't snow layers mess up the ice road? I don't think snow can fall on it. I don't think snow can fall on it. What really annoys me is when I get taken in the 30 and 30 zone. I get it on motorways and stuff, but we're in town. Slow down, mate. Oh, yeah. People are definitely... I think I live in London where it's all 20s. And people are aggressively like, hey, what are you doing going 24 in a 20? We all know that 20 means 29 miles per hour. So get up to that speed, damn it. And it's like, maybe I don't know that. Maybe I don't think that. Maybe I don't want to take the risk about that. Yeah, I think it's weird though, because speed limits are one of those things where, if you think about it, they're kind of illogical. But even if you remove them, I think that makes a lot of situations more stressful. Because the reason I would, the reason I would run a yellow is because I don't want to be hit from behind. So if I was doing 70 and the guy behind is right on me, I would do 80. If I'm doing 80 and the guy right behind's right on me, I think I might do 90. And, I think 100 miles per hour is definitely more risk of an accident than 70. But I would end up doing it just out of social awkwardness. Whereas rules and laws... Oh. Chat, there's no noise, right? Oh, I bet that's just it's playing out my controller or something dumb. Oh yeah, my volume just turned off for no reason. Weird. Yeah, I can't hear anything. Okay, so usually that's a sign that your Minecraft's broken. In my case, I think that plugging in my PlayStation controller just really ruined something. So I'm gonna quickly find out what that was. Output device? Yeah, it's decided my output device should be my controller, which is not what I want. Oh wait, but also my input device is my... Okay, that's also incorrect. Okay, chat, can you hear me correctly now? Was it using the controller microphone before? I hope it wasn't. Cars are terrifying. Oh, cars are objectively terrifying. I think, though, okay, this is a crazy opinion. I would have been much happier living a life where I didn't need to drive. That's my first, controversial take. I think a lot of people feel like cars are great for them. But now that I've kind of learned to, appreciate that, maybe like a lot of other things in life, I feel like driving is this real... we like to think of it as a game of rules and a game of, we like to think of it as yeah, you're driving these death boxes around, so here are the rules to make sure you do it safely. But actually, driving is this huge game of negotiation. Oh, it's so scary to ride this boat at speed through this cloud of snow. But I'm doing a decent job, chat. I'm doing a decent job. It's really this huge game of negotiation, working out... You and all the other drivers on the road are working together to get the same job done. You're all getting to your destination safely. And in that sense, it's incredible how much non-verbal communication cars do with each other all the time. The universal sign of someone pushing for an overtake when there's no safe overtake, pushing right behind you is you should go faster because that is how I will get to my destination faster. Whereas, conversely, flashing your lights is a sign for oh yeah, sorry, thank you, you can do this, etc. This is a non-standard maneuver because you are only meant to flash your light. It's a single binary form of communication, but it gets so much done. Okay, so this is a scary place to get off my boat. I wish I hadn't done that. Sorry for yowling at you, chat. You deserve better than my ass. I'm going to put another couple blocks here just because my sanity. Then I'm going to sleep in this bed, which I still can't do, amazingly. So now I'm going to place down a crafting table because I'm going to have to make a lot of slabs. Too many slabs, that's for sure. And then we're going to grab a lot of these out. But we have so many still. But that's totally fine. So I actually should probably go for about half. I think that many. And then we'll do this twice. And now spruce slabs all the way. So we make 2 piles of logs, 1 pile of slabs. 2 piles of slabs. But then that creates this problem, but it's fine. And then we make 1 more of these. I don't even know what to do about that. I think I just lost the log, but it's chill. And now we start bridging. And it's going to be a really long bridge. In the last hour, we've only covered 2,000 blocks. So I'm very worried about that. Where I live in the PNW, at least flashing lights can be a message that someone's lights are out. Yeah, it's a funny but dumb way to say, like, your lights are out. Look, I'll use my lights to show you that your lights aren't working. But I guess for some people, very effective. So we put these together, then there we go. Yeah, nice. Whew. I think they should definitely add a mob that takes away your... Ooh, what are they going to take away? I wonder. I look forward to reading that as soon as it shows up here. Okay, so I'm going to make some more of these. And then once we get to a round number that will turn into slabs, we'll make all of those into slabs. Easy peasy. And then we still got this 1 extra block. I don't think it's ever going to round. No, if we take this and 2 more of those, that creates 9 of these blocks, which creates 18 slabs. Boom. It's got to be nighttime now. Yes, thank God it is. But yeah, I think driving is really good as a skill because it teaches you about this like art of negotiation. Everyone's life is at stake all of the time, and it's still a relatively chill negotiation. Whereas relatively like simple situations can become tense negotiation. You can be I was at the tube barriers chat. So if you live in a country where you don't take public transport, or your public transport is it's patrolled by like people on the trains, to get into the underground in the UK, to get on our trains that go across our nation's best city, you have to go put a ticket, or you have to tap to get through this barrier. And so everyone has to like everyone on the train has already paid for the train because entry to the train is paid by itself. It's an interesting concept that it's fairly recent and it's very effective in making people pay. But I was at a very busy station on the Elizabeth line, and for some reason they shut all but 2 of the barriers in. I think it was really dumb. I still don't know why they did it, but they did. So I got on this. As I was trying to get on this very busy, trying to get through this very busy barrier to pay for my train, there was a guy at the front of the line who was a little bit angry. It was a Korean guy who was really upset. He was like, "Hey man, get out of the barrier if your ticket's not working. Like, let everyone else through," because I think the guy was like continuously trying and something wasn't working. And the guy, in response to this simple piece of feedback that if he's going to inconvenience everyone else, he should do it later, he threatened. So he was, if it's relevant, the man was of a Afro-Caribbean descent. The Afro-Caribbean man gave a very strongly worded reply about how he's not going to do that to the Korean man, and the Korean man just kind of like shrugged, gave a little like, ugh. And then in response, the other guy continuously threatened to fight him, like straight up was like, "We're gonna fight about this right now, right here," over and over and over again. And it's interesting, right? That this, like, it's just two very different people, both presumably from very different parts of the city, having a simple disagreement over how should we pay for this. We both want to do this thing together. We both want to pay for our trains, presumably, or at least we want to be allowed onto the trains. And I thought it was really interesting that like such a serious interaction occurred because of something so dumb. And it's interesting because if you try to do that when you're driving, if you try to be like, "Hey man, why are you telling me to go? Screw you. I'll drive home and kill your children." It doesn't usually happen. And that's because we, like in general, you're all meant to agree that this happens. Although, you know, it's interesting, because you need a driving license to drive, right? That's part of why people might argue that people drive better. But you don't need, like, a parenting license. I've spoken about this a lot. Or also saluting you with my Oyster card. Thank you, David! You know, you need a driving license to drive, but you don't need a parenting license. And in most jurisdictions, besides Northern Ireland, it's the British way. It's I feel like it's meant to be dealt with via tuts. The way when that man was upset, he should not have said something to him. He should have just been like, or you know, that's pretty extreme. He should have been like, you know, come on, man. Happiest Londoners. Yeah, I was pretty happy. I'd just been to a lovely little comedy venue, and I was like, well, isn't it nice getting on this train? It's transportation and it's a show. I get to watch a fight, and I get to get transported to my destination. Got into an accident once because I was in a turning lane, and a very old lady was trying to also get in the turning lane and bumped into me. It was only a scratch, and we went our separate ways. See, that's not. I feel like genuinely, you get out of your car after an accident. Both of you are like, ah, we don't really want to be here, do we? Whereas, you know, you bump through a tube barrier at the same time as someone else, and you're like, ooh, whose honor has been insulted, and who's gonna get murdered for this one? Has to be one of us. Can't be neither of us getting murdered. That would be absurd. In this city, at this time of year, entirely localized in this tube station. Okay, so I think we can make 4 stacks of these, but we can go a little further than that. It looks like. There we go. Yeah. So if I get to 30, no, if I we can perfectly make a stack, as long as we then take that. Okay, uncrouching. Sorry to my neighbors for all the airing noises. I am very on edge. It's a thing I should look into, I know. It's a problem on the inside of me. No clouds and still no crash. A miracle. It truly is a miracle when you think about it. I 100% would have tutted and acted like it wasn't me. Yeah, exactly. That's the correct response. I think both people were just too confrontational, and you know, I think it's terrible. But yeah, isn't it crazy you don't need a dog license, chat? You know, has anyone ever like dealt with a dog? Like, I think I'm a cat person. I'll lay my cards on the table. But whenever you deal with someone, like especially like you know, someone like, it's always a friend of a friend or a friend like that, whose dog is like, they have to be like, oh yeah, you know, forgive his behavior. You know, he's you know, like so, you know, sorry for that. There's always some like giant like explanation of what you can't do around them. Like you know, just make sure whatever you do, you don't pet them because they will go berserk. This actually happened to me the last time I tried to pet someone's dog. They tried to bite me. They got very aggressive and stared at me for the rest of the evening. And I'm like, my bad. I didn't realize your dog didn't like being petted. But like the whole thing about dogs is people always try to like justify their behavior by being like, oh, but they're such a lovely dog. They just get, you know, they're just like that when they're around people. And I've always thought that that's like the craziest defense. Like the whole point of a pet, the whole point of anyone, you could argue, or of behavior more broadly, you know, is that you do it around people. Unless you're me playing, you know, Outer Worlds 2 in a onesie on the sofa, there are going to be other people around at some point in your life, and this is how you'll be measured on your behavior. And so I would say, also I need to renew my dog license to drive my dog. Parenting license should be made mandatory. Uneducated parents ruin their children way too often. Yeah, like people, you know, the worst you can do in a car is kill yourself, and maybe a bunch of other people. Worst you can do with your child is you could raise someone who kills an entire group of people. You know, if just maybe, in Austria the parenting was a bit lighter, that wouldn't have happened. You know, maybe if the art school funding was just a little bit better. Anyway, yeah, I think it's crazy that people say like, yeah, a dog's great besides being around people. It's like, how else would it be good? Like, every animal, like a polar bear is great if it exists in a dimension surrounded by no people. In the void, a polar bear is a lovely pet. The problem is all of the other times. Also, I love cats. I love animals who establish boundaries. Yeah, when a cat wants to love you, it wants to love you. There's no like, oh, yeah, I know you don't want this, but I'm going to force you. I mean, sometimes I'll do that with cats, but... Chat, on the way home yesterday, I met up with a friend. So I met up with a friend. You know, if you wanna learn my friend's life story, in 5 minutes, you know, I won't tell you my friend's life story in 5 minutes. That's deeply personal. But what I will say is I met with him. It was very good. He's changed his life entirely in the last 3 months that I've met him. So looking forward to meeting him in another 3 months and seeing the same things happened. But my dad had a dog like that when I was a baby. The behavior wasn't due. You know, I've got to move around my things so I can read the bottom half of these messages. My parents being bad dog owners due to mental problems, likely from a previous abusive owner. Yeah, that's the thing about people too, right? Like, I don't know, like, I don't want to get too like relationship advicey here. I'm a Minecraft YouTuber after all, but I really feel like a lot of like relationship woes basically come from people like struggling with how each other were raised. Because there's a lot of things that you think are just the default of being a human that are actually a default of being a human in your household. Or rather, a compromise between what your parents did. Yo, how's Kobe in history doing? He hasn't posted in a while. Oh, he got married, David. He's half of a business of a corporation now. Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. Also, it's good to see you digging truths. There was, in fact, some artwork you missed out on. It was beautiful. It was very MS Paint. And sadly, it's gone and it's never coming back. Okay, so let's make 3 stacks of these, then 6 stacks of slabs. And then maybe after that, we'll go back in. Honestly, I don't think we ever need to go back home. We still could, maybe. But yeah, I think we've got to make a decision about whether to turn back now or do it later. I think what we'll do is we'll place a bridge going back. This is going to seem insane, chat, but I'm going to have 2 bridges on the side of my ice for a while. I think it will just look kind of satisfying. And it's basically just as fast as walking home. I don't know that it actually is. I think this might be a terrible idea. Guess who's sticking for it anyway, though? But yeah, Cobean history. He's living a happy life. Oh, he just got a dog. It's really good. Like, it's not great around people, but I haven't met the dog. I'm sure he's not good around people, though. I'm sure he's great around the right people. Okay, let me pause the game. Let me move my chat so I can move it correctly. The very dog that bit you. Yeah, you know, this is where you find out Kobe's actually my dad. But yeah, we've gone 3,700 blocks so far, Mr. Balo. Speaking of Balo, Noah Barton says, why, hello. Why am I giving you money? I'm crazy. Thank you for being crazy. In just the right way, though. Specifically, the giving me money way. There's a lot of ways in which being crazy is a problem. Something to be looked out for. Something to be, you know, something to raise the alarm bells about. But when it's the type of crazy where you just love to give people you care about money, can you ever really be that bothered? My parents are horrible dog owners. Had one that literally bit everybody. They put him down after he bit my brother in my neck. Oh, yeah. That's rough. Yeah, weirdly, I think one of the... I've got a friend who's very messed up. Because I think I think their childhood... Maybe their cousin was, like, mauled to death by a dog from one of their family members, unruly dog owners. And as much as you can, like, process it and say it over and over again, I don't think you're ever going to be okay if you see a dog kill someone. I think I guess it's one of those interesting things, right? That, like, goes back to how when your parents, you know, what a lot of what you assume is a default is kind of what your parents raised you to see as the default. if one of the first 50 dogs you see is threatening and scary and is akin to a gun, more than anything else, you're gonna learn to see dogs like guns. Whereas if you see dogs that are the size of poodles and that do cute tricks, you're gonna see them as like a little robot. Like, oh yeah, I want to make friends with a little robot that sits when I tell him to. This seems like a massive waste of wood. Then again, Toy Cat. Wasteful resource use as a part of a stupid project is a Toy Cat speciality. Oh, I love using resources wastefully for my projects. You know me well, Balo. Good to see you, by the way. You know what, Balo? I'm going to do something crazy here. I'm going to pitch you specifically on becoming a channel member. Have you considered becoming one? Have you heard of all of the great benefits? I had a dog try to kill me when I was like 10, but everyone else is good boys. That's impressive. I mean, if it tried to kill you, that might be easier to rationalize, right? Because you didn't see the dog killing you, you felt the dog killing you. Like, I do think weirdly there's a difference when something happens to you. At least to me, like, I never like. I feel like you experience the world through so many senses, but if you see something, chat. So I mentioned I went to comedy a couple nights ago, and so I want to listen to some like up and coming comedians. It was kind of good, and one of the guys was a really friendly looking guy, and he's doing some riffs on the audience, and he says to this one guy, like, because this one guy like stumbles over. He's like, had a few too many drinks tonight. And the guy's like, he looks really, really drunk. And just responds by like doing that. And someone in the audience had to yell out like, that man has cerebral palsy. Apparently it was actually a brain injury or something. But there was this awkward standoff where this guy with a brain injury keeps interrupting the set to say, and it's just the worst feeling in the world. For both that guy and for the comedian, right? There's no healthy world where they go, well, let's agree on our differences here. Let's agree to set them aside for the. It's like, no, this is terrible, and everything about this is bad, and I feel bad. Also, I'm gonna put away the second stone shovel, maybe even the sticks, and then grab another pile of spruce logs. I think that just makes sense. Then grab this as well. And then I can come back for that, inevitably, on the way home. But let's get running again. Which one will you finish first? This bridge or the lava river? Should I make a video on the list of projects I don't want to finish? I could probably... with the power of shorts, I think I can do that. I was going to check on her puppies, and she was protective, so I understood. Ripped out half my hair, though. Never grew properly on that side for a decade. That is a long time to be scarred from a dog. It's a very long time. But yeah, so this guy was, there was this awkward exchange between someone who was trying to tell jokes and someone who was like, no, stop your show and screw you. And I was just staring at it, and it was like 15 seconds maybe. But they were the longest 15 seconds of my life. It's just watching this conflict between, because I don't do comedy, but I feel like I feel like I understand this concept of like, you are trying to feed an audience emotions. And so anything that gets in the way of that hurts. You know, if my controller dies while I'm trying to feed you emotions about, I don't know, what was I talking about at the time? Driving. Then, you know, it sucks for both of us. Oof, I may make a list of craft projects to finish off. That would help me. Yeah, having a list of anything helps. It's weird that making a list is such a hard thing to convince your brain to do, given how useful it is. But yeah, which will I finish first? This or the lava river? Given the current timeline on this, it's looking like it will never be finished. But that's like most projects, right? You gotta really find your stride. You gotta hit your ideal moment. We haven't died, and that needs to be said as the best thing about what's happening here. I'm not dead, and I could be, but I'm not. And that's just great. Whew. Do you do conflict, says Casual Gaming? Oh, I hate conflict. But I think I'm good at doing conflict with people I know. I think I like doing conflict with people I know because it has to be done. I think I'm a believer in this idea that people are better off getting their words and their feelings out there. And so I believe from that sense of words, it has to be done. And so I would rather facilitate it. I would rather make sure that this happens. But at the same time, it's also a bit like, even though I know it needs to be done, it doesn't mean like I want to see it being done. I don't do comedy, says man who has multiple pieces of political satire using Minecraft villagers. Is satire comedy though? Or is satire a deconstruction of an idea? You know, like I'll concede this is kind of like a lecture. We talk a lot about philosophical ideas. It's kind of like having your slightly too talkative friend in the room with you. Chat, do we have any conflict that we need to resolve? Chat, do you have anything you want to get out in the air about me right now? Should we do some conflict together? I went to a comedy show and started having a coughing fit due to asthma. I had to time my coughs to the laughter as I was scared to be picked on. Satire is a type of comedy. No, it's not, Dasher. You're wrong. Look, let me do. Look. I'm satire. I'm specifically not telling a joke because I was trying to do a piece of satire about satire. Like, oh yeah, I'm satire and I'm so important because in lieu of jokes, I just make true statements about the world and wrap them up as if they're really deep. Whoa, we're gonna hit our first mountains, chat. Oh, it's gonna be great. I'm gonna have a place to settle down. It's gonna be cool. You really are a funny guy. Is this the conflict that we need to get through? You know, okay. You know what, David? I think I'm not a funny guy. I think whenever I'm around funny people, I realize like, oh yeah, I'm just someone who is able to. I think I'm better at like making. Also, well, now I have conflict with you. Yes, you don't read my DMs. Resolved. I would say it kind of comes down to the email thing, right? Of like, there are very few forms of communication that I check regularly, and the biggest reason why is because I am, in any given moment, I'm making this decision about what is the likelihood of me getting something bad, and sadly, I think like there are very few places where that is not true. But also, as a result, there are very few places I can tell people to message me. So chat, I quite like the guy who dropped in yesterday and was like, leave a comment on my video, I'll give you $50. But, you know, I feel like that person made a big deal of the fact that they're like, look, I speak to this guy's dad every single day. I think it was Technoblade's dad. And I'm like, does he message him every day or does he send a message to him every day? Is this guy going to send a message to me every day? Specifically so he can brag about sending me messages every day? Because that's scary if so. I don't want that to be in a place where I could see it. Chat, a guy, 8 years ago, a guy offered to help me with a server. And then kind of half did. I asked for some extra help, he didn't do it. But he did the first bit, so it was fine. And so then the person sent a message, and then another message, and then another message, and then another message. And I was just overwhelmed at that point. I'm like, these are all weird. I feel like borderline inappropriate. Like, I don't know how to talk to you about these things, so I'm just not going to. I've been receiving message. It's been like a bit of a social experiment. I've had a message multiple times a month from this person for 7 years, chat. The person, and you know, like 2 years ago, they were like, oh, I just got my first car because I can drive now. I'm like, how old were you 6 years ago? But also, how have you not grown out of this behavior if you picked it, I don't know, like, makes it extra inappropriate as I'm confused how a 12-year-old managed to set me up a Minecraft server. Even though I had a lot of conflict with Toycat like a year or two ago, I got over myself. Yeah, get over it right now with me. I would never send you anything bad. Oh, what I mean though is that it's not the say, you know, Instagram message with you, or like Discord is another example. I don't have any ill will to anyone who sends me a Discord message, but the Discord messages are also where all my ill will comes from. I've recently moved over doing a lot of my work stuff in Discord, so now for me, Discord is the work social media, I would say, more than anything else. Another pile of that. Another pile of that. Oh god, did I do this right? I don't think I did this right. Imminent mountains. Okay, we got this. I have a person like that in my life.
Imminent mountain money and door comedy money. You decide.
Yay! Thank you for saying I'm funny. I mean, I do think that. But first of all, I appreciate it. The imminent mountain money. Yeah, it's exciting, right? Look, it's right there. I'm actually gonna. There's gonna be new blocks for me to mine, chat. Also, I would argue these are slightly closer by mountains than the ones I did actually go to. This is why forward planning is important. If I had just gone to these mountains first, like think about it. If I had been to these mountains ahead of me first, then I'd have been able to make my bridge to the dripstone way shorter. I didn't know dripstone was my goal at the time. I'm very much playing this as a fly-by night, fly-by seat. I don't even know. He made fun of me and hurt my feelings. I put a comment, Miss Pat responded to it. I got over the issue. Had to sit and think about what it was. I think I've had that a lot recently. My whole thing is I like, you know, having that little fun, like, banterous back and forth. I really enjoy doing that with commenters, because there is a certain, like, as a streamer, you're meant to be like, wow, Canyon, you make such a good point, and you are very smart and intelligent. Deanna says, you probably get lost messages. It might be a little draining, so thanks for chatting with us. Deanna, you are very smart, intelligent, emotionally capable, and I appreciate you. But, you know, what if I want to be like, you know, all of those things are true, but what sort of a name is Deanna? Like, are you like the Anna, but you're like in slang? Nacho says, I feel sorry for the poor editor who have to render a time lapse of this bridge. You chat with people for multiple hours at a time, multiple times a week. Having lots of people emailing you and DM you separately would be too much. Oh yeah, I get emails, I get DMs, I get Discord messages, I get Facebook messages still. Oh god. Every time I load up Facebook, I'm like, oh, I forgot to check this one in a while. Chat, have I mentioned before? This is like, you know, let me get some conflict. I need to get some conflict with a dead person out of the way now. I used to try to respond to everything. I would respond to literally everything besides Xbox messages. Just because I figured like Xbox messages are like, you know, it's the Wild West out there. So I responded to everything, chat. I responded to YouTube messages back when those were a thing. Also, my real name is Dana. Shush. Oh, that's a cool name. You know, no, I want to be, sorry, that's not I'm being too normal of a streamer. That's a name that someone has when they're trying to copy the world's famous princess, the world's favorite princess, but they're also bad at spelling. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. So chat, I want to sleep somewhere on this mountain, but also I have to be very careful about this mountain. I think I just wasted snow. So I've got a silk touch pickaxe. I don't know what I'm going to do with all this stuff. I need to make sure I'm not knocked below Y200 by something. So just place a torch here. I'll make a little bed slot for myself over here. And I'll put the bed in it. Easy peasy. As long as I don't spawn in the mountain and fall up, I'll be happy to check your messages for you. But yeah, I'm sorry about whatever messages it was that I left that was aggressive. But it was all your fault, and you should feel bad about it because I am flawless and perfect. And see, it's really easy dealing with conflict, chat. I don't know why people don't do it more. Okay, let's make some snow blocks. I do want to kind of peek around. Chat, look at this. How often do I get to, while making a bridge, get to like have a little snow day and look at a mountain? I genuinely didn't know this was coming. Which is a bad thing on a different level. But I'll take it for the sake of this. There's gravel here, which I can use to make dirt. Yeah, this is incredible. Let me tell you about it, chat. It's a good sign that I'm in this place. It is a great sign that I have found this place. So let's bridge over to there. And honestly, if I finished today with a 4,000 block pathway in gravel, I'd be happy. It's not where I'm finishing today. But just so you know, everything past this point is already a nice bonus. This is a piece of terrain that either didn't exist when I was testing the world, or which I didn't know it existed. Oh yeah, look at that. There's more. There's a lot more. So I could switch out to planks. I can switch out to stone slabs if I want to be really weird. But instead I'm going to make myself a chest. Just off the main highway here. So just to confirm, the ice highway will go through the right bit here. And then there'll be a crafting table there. And we'll also put a chest on top of this, just for now. Because I'm going to need to store this stuff for later to pick it up on the way home. For now, this looks great. And then let's make 3 piles of logs. Oh. Make 3 stacks perfectly of these. Then make 3 stacks of slabs. Oh, yeah, perfect. And then we can make like a few more if we want to. Just for the fun of it. Perfect stuff. Oh, beautiful bowl. Yeah, it's a really beautiful piece of terrain. Really, really beautiful piece of terrain. So I've not used Facebook in 8 years. Thanks for reminding me. I seriously think most old people and mums use it. Yes, it is very. It's old people's social media, and it's really sad because you'll see your friends on there, and you'll be like, "Oh, you are the friend that social media left behind. No one ever told you about Instagram or Snapchat or Vine, and so you've just been here since you were 17. You just never grew." Sorry to anyone who uses Facebook. It's a wonderful social media, and you're all wonderful people, except the ways that you're not. I used to respond to all my Facebook messages. Just an insane thing. I won't pretend that it was like, this holistic, wholesome, this generous act of, the reason that I would respond to every message is because I believed in my heart that this is how you build a, you build a social media, empire or whatever you want to call it. Like I figured it is good that people have a interaction with me, and even though it takes so long for each one of these, it will be valuable in its own right. I still don't know if that is good advice or not, but I did it either way, and it was like a worst case. It was a good way for, a lonely 20-year-old to chat with some people in some very different backgrounds, and argue that it was work, right? And so I had some really weird messages from some people. I had some very strange ones, but I also had a message from a girl who was like, "Oh yeah, your videos helped a bunch," and I was like, "Oh, that's cool. Yep, went for a real hard time, but the video's gonna be through." And so I would chat with them on the on-off basis. And then, I remember being like, "Oh, it's been a few years. Let me go back and check on this person who says that, they made the comment that I saved their life." But I was like, it's something you just say, right? Like, "Oh, yeah, eating Nesquik saved my life." "Oh, yeah, going to the gym saved my life." Or Minecraft saved my life. But, yeah, there was something, really gut-wrenching about someone who I'd had maybe 20 messages with ever. Learning out that, going onto their profile and seeing that they weren't around anymore. The last message was someone being like, "Every year we miss you, Jesse." And yeah, I think that's one of the weird downsides of social media. I think that's one of the weird downsides of getting to know strangers, which you shouldn't do, by the way. Stranger danger. It's not just stranger danger. They might put you in a van. It's stranger danger. You might get attached to someone and then learn that they have died. And do you want to learn that people have died? I mean, I guess you don't want to not know they've died. It's crazy, actually, when you really think about it. What % of people you've interacted with on the internet at some point or other are now dead just through, time having passed. Wow, depressing thought, huh? Look how good look how good the comedy streamer is. So many laughs. So, okay. Gotta be very careful about this. But, yeah, okay. We get into the top of this one. Yeah, it's a weird thing, and I feel like there is a little bit of this is the it's like the most selfish view you can have on someone else's death, but also it is the closest thing to a reminder that no matter how callous or no matter how we can pretend oh yeah, it's your life, so live it, there is a bit of an impact on everyone else. Chat, have you ever seen when someone dies and on the news every single time without fail they say "Oh, they were such a great person. They were always the life of the room. They were always blah, 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 blah. There's always good things they say about people when they die, right? It's always the most positive things. Because when someone dies, you have to say the most positive stuff. You know, I like this person I spoke to. I don't know if I even like that. I mean, they were fine. I didn't hate this person that I spoke to that is now no longer with us. But so watch out for the goat. Oh yeah, the goat might actually get me. So let's be very careful for him. Where is he again? Where's the goat? I saw a goat. I didn't imagine it, I'm pretty sure. Looks like I did though. So there's a rabbit over there. That's just about all. So there's actually not a lot of gravel here. I was hoping for a whole bunch of gravel, because more dirt would be a massive boon for me right now. But no gravel. That's okay. The goat is facing the camera. You forgot to watch the news when O.J. Simpson died and you could insult him without a libel lawsuit. That doesn't show up on our news, but maybe I should have watched it specifically for that moment. Oh wait, can you not posthumously sue for... Is that how libel works then? That you can only like insult an alive person's reputation? Don't think to have a conflict of view, but you've said things I didn't think were good, and I've tried to be reasonably contrarian to. Yeah, I think that's an interesting... So, you know, let's get this all up in the air, chat. Also, I don't want to be new gen, but what's the bridge for, and what does it think about this whole thing? The bridge enjoys being used for my mountain purposes. Let me tell you. I assume it likes being used this way. You know, its opinions don't really matter to me. In the US, yeah, don't know about the UK. Thank you for that not legal advice. Save me from saying a lot of dangerous things about dead people. I feel like we're a lot less of a sue-heavy country in the UK, which is interesting because my whole life it's been a point of pride, right? Like, oh, in America they would sue you for saying that. Oh, that's real bad, actually. I'm kind of a believer that like actually a good legal system, you know, like frivolous lawsuits are bad. Oh, okay, there's goats down there, chat. There's two of them. But there's no gravel anywhere. The only gravel I've seen was just up there, but that's not fun. That's not good. It's not what I'm here for. But yeah, chat, I wanna share something of moderate insensitivity because I watched I watched some news here in the UK about a mother whose child had just died. It was actually, they died 5 years ago, but they're still talking about it because they're trying to encourage the concept of a graduated driver license, which is to say that when you learn to drive, you should have really heavy restrictions for your first year because their child died in their first year of driving. And it was like they were making fun of the concept of how parents describe to their children. Because usually they're like, they were such a sweet child, they were the nicest person, blah, 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 blah. Whereas in this case, I'm not going to be kidding you when I say this. This is literally quoting. She was like, oh yeah, he was such a sweet child. You know, he passed his driving license, you know, saying, you know, left turn there, right turn there. And then he could drive at 70 miles per hour. And, you know, it's funny because he would always say, like, I'm here for a good time, not a long time. And, you know, what happened to him. And everyone in our family always loved him. He was always sharing his, you know, his fun conspiracy theories. And I'm like, man, you know, I think that death is a terrible thing. And I think the amount of pain it brings a family is awful. But, like, I feel like, you know, if it has to happen, right? If we're like a believer in the... Oh, my controller just paused for no reason, chat. That's concerning. It's very concerning. UK is much more suit heavy when it comes to speech. US is about suing restaurants for serving hot coffee. Yeah, it's interesting. It's a stereotype, right, that we don't have freedom of speech in the UK. But it's just we don't have it as an enshrined right. You have the right. It's the same way as even though you have the enshrined right to freedom of speech in America. That doesn't mean that you can. Oh, it's really fun actually. I've looked into this, and people always say, well, you can't yell fire in a crowded building, But actually, that isn't one of the restrictions to freedom of speech. Weirdly enough, you can yell fire in a crowded building. There is no law against that. But libel is still a crime. You can use your free speech to do harm, and you can be held accountable for that harm. Maybe even if you yell fire in a crowded building. Oh god, I need to get this place lit, by the way. Yeah, I'm very scared that I'll be knocked down and go below Y200. Again, even though we're saying we gain no benefit from going below Y200, I'm not intending to go below that height anyway. Whoopsie, that's fine. So there's some strays out here, which is fun. You don't see a lot of those in the world. And, oh, I could die from some of these heights. Yeah, so there's a decent amount of, gravel in this building. So much so that I'm not really worried about the rest. Also, I don't know how many torches I have. I don't think I should be using them so willy-nilly here. So let's get down and let's just tunnel through this, I guess. Easiest way. The concept of free speech is such a strange one to me. Was it originally about free journalism? Oh, the original. I mean, you could make the argument that America's quite a like, because a lot of, especially in the Northeast, I want to say, a lot of Americans come from religious minorities that felt persecuted in the UK. Whether they were or not, I genuinely have never looked into. I'm not making some comment. It's just, you know, people like minority groups of all forms. No, that sounds offensive. But like people who are not the majority like to believe that they are being persecuted. I know this of every type of. I am a small business owner, and I like to feel like I am being persecuted. One of the biggest reasons that it's dumb to be. So what do I do about this, by the way? Okay, that works. Everyone loves to feel like they're being personally persecuted because the world feels like that, you know? When I have to pay £100 because I gave a landline phone instead of a mobile phone when I filled out an application, and my only alternative is, I don't have the thing that you need, feels persecuted. When actually it's just, you know, bureaucrat being a bureaucrat. Okay, so a lot of Americans come from that, like, from a religious minority that felt like they were being persecuted for what they were saying. Whether that is true or not is a different point, different time. Chat, I don't want to get too close to this because those skeletons will knock me down. I don't know how to avoid that besides running away and coming back. Maybe. Yeah, like what else are we going to do? Okay, let's do it. Let's run all the way around. It'll be a nice run. I can show you my new mountains that I've collected. It is nice to have new mountains, right? It's very nice. Gamers are the most oppressed people. Honestly, okay, so this is an interesting case. Okay. I feel like in the aughties. Oh. Is that a pale garden on fire? That is, right? That's a pale garden on fire. But it's like so far away that the fire's not animated. That is odd. Okay, so now we'll run all the way this way. And by the time we get back, the only mobs that should be able to spawn will be friendly, and therefore I won't die. Okay, so, yeah, so, everyone in chat's talking about the lawsuit for the McDonald's thing. You're free to say anything you want, but you have to answer for every word you say. No, so, okay. I'm gonna go back to that before I come back to gamers being a persecuted minority. Because it feels very true that you are being squeezed for everything you are worth by giant corporations. Whereas it used to feel like, you know, gamers were being, you know, persecuted by governments. That is going to have huge electoral ramifications. That now, you know, video game players hate giant corporations because giant corporations have ruined many video games for them. That is going to have a huge knock-on for the future of the world. And if I were Microsoft, being, you know, if I were Microsoft, I would have the most consumer-friendly practices I could. Just for the sake of, like, you know, that's like the cheapest election buying you can have. Like, take one, you know, like, what is gaming as part of Microsoft? Like, 5% of the business? Take 5% of the business, make it so consumer friendly that your customers love, you know, capitalism and corporate entities like Costco. And they'll be like, wow, I would hate any politician that infringed on that right. But it's not what they went for, and again, I think that's going to have huge, damning electoral ramifications in the future. But yeah, so okay, so freedom of speech is. I'm going to talk about it from my perspective. I'm not American. I am a British person from whom America was founded by fleeing. But the concept of freedom of speech is really important when you're thinking about the 17th and 18th centuries. The concept of free democratic governments are the standard now, very, very rare then. And so it used to be quite common that if you were doing something the government didn't like, that they would just say, you're not allowed to do that, and they could do anything they wanted to you as a result. In totalitarian power systems, I have no slabs left, we have to go craft some. In totalitarian power systems, the government can just say, whoa, why are you saying things we don't like? The government says that it's really good if West Asia is at war with East Asia, and so we would like it if you agreed with that. Okay, make a bunch of slabs. Plenty of slabs, great. And then we'll even make some more. So the you know, like that is something that is very commonly shared. Whether that's true or not depends on your leanings and how you believe that totalitarian governments actually work. But so a lot of people who were moving to free democratic countries believe that their government shouldn't have power to persecute them for the things they said. That, like, alongside a free and fair legal system where you could represent yourself and where you'd be heard by a jury of your peers, it's also important to say that your speech should never be a thing that is used to harm you by the government. The concept of free speech usually, again, from my perspective, is not meant to imply I can say anything and no one can be mad for me. So, you know, I think that Sonic did 9/11 is my speech that I can exercise. But you can be upset with me if you think that I'm diminishing, you know, Osama bin Laden's role in the plot by implying that it was actually Sega's hedgehog that did that. And also, Sega should be able to say, you cannot be spreading those memes about our hedgehog because he did not do that. And so they could say, they could try and sue me. But, crucially, they can only sue me if it is factually inaccurate. If I said Sonic did 9/11, and we've got proof, we've got pictures of him at the base of the tower, and it's widely accepted, the reasonable man on the street could believe it, you can't even be prosecuted privately for that. But yeah, you don't have the freedom to lie. You don't have the freedom to make up things. The hedgehog or the convenience store. You know, here's the controversial fun fact: truth isn't a defense to libel in the UK. Is it not? I thought it was. Maybe I'm getting it mixed up with the other one. Like, there's libel and there's the other one, like corporate harm. But I think if you can prove something is true, this could be me like picking up Americanisms. But I've always understood it that oh no. What I think it is the onus. Again, maybe I'm mixing up something here. I believe that in the UK the onus is on you to prove what you say is true. And in the US, because of freedom of speech, the onus is on the defendant to say what you're saying is a lie. So if I say Sonic did 9/11, Sega has to prove Sonic did not do 9/11. And by the way, they're awfully not forthcoming on that evidence. So I'm just saying, make up your own conclusions. Do your own research, people. Slander? Yeah, slander is the other one I'm thinking of. It's slander, not libel. I swear it's for defamation. I need to study it again. You know, Xavier, you are the closest thing we have to a lawyer here. Please tell me about it. The lower sentence is guaranteed. Winning a case isn't. But in a plea deal, a stipulation is that you can't appeal to a higher court. Oh, that's fun. Free speech is the government can't be mad at you for saying things. Society can be a different case. Yeah, exactly. I think though when you live in a country where the government can't be mad at you for saying things, and that corporations have to prove that you did things, I think that then creates a society where people are more open to saying things and less scared of saying things. Like, if you go to anywhere in Eastern Europe, I don't know what it's like to be able to speak freely in public. Yeah, so there's an interesting. She made a joke about anxiety that I missed, so maybe I'm going against your entire thing. A lot of people from the former Soviet bloc, like even a lot of people in Germany, like going that far west. But a lot of Europeans are deeply scared about saying things that are critical of the government, because for so long, You've been able to say whatever you want. It's just that when you say the wrong things, you happen to disappear. It's probably not related to what you say, though. Say whatever you like, citizen. Like, it's the most interesting thing to me. If you look into... Like, a lot of people don't understand why it is that authoritarian regimes in Eastern Europe are so scary. And it's because, you know, they think that these rules are enshrined in law. That like, oh yeah, you're just not allowed to insult the government. And it's like, no, you can insult the government. You can mobilize against them. But there will be people watching. There'll be people snitching on you. There'll be people, you know, everything. It's I don't know, like if you look into how good intelligence services can be against foreign governments, think about what happens when you apply that to your own population. So, hi Cat, hope you're doing Desert World State. Can we get percentage completion on the journey up in the corner? I'm gonna level with you, Brian Harshman. We're 4,600 blocks into an 18,000 block journey, and it's been 2 hours, and we started with 1,000 of those blocks. I think that our chances of full completion went from, yeah, that'd be nice, to like, oh, that's not happening. So, oh, I didn't bring my bed with me. It makes sense to go for it now. Yeah, now is the best time to go for it. So I'll do this, and then I'll just remove that. I'll just build the second bridge going backwards right now. I'll do it without crouching just to scare people for a few seconds. Do you think it'd be faster to build it from this side, though? Okay, let's build the bridge over there. Get that perfect slot ready for the ice in the middle. Barely anything done, says Akash Warrior. I found 4 new mountains today. Just add in Minecraft instead of allegedly. Oh, has my video come out yet, chat? Oh, I knew I should have been checking on something. Oh, it's not. Wait, no, it is. It came out an hour and 20 minutes ago, and people are liking it. Okay, so the maths at this point is 22.3% complete. Yeah, I could probably get something that reads my on-screen coordinates and then uses those on-screen coordinates to do something. What would happen if we unalived all the world's dictators? I mean, I am one of those people, maybe not the most fun of people, but I am of the belief that if you unalive, say, the most famous dictator in Europe right now, then what replaces him tomorrow could be worse. Like now, like I think that like power systems are scary to really think about. But in particular, what that means is that... Do I have a bed on me? No, I didn't. It's a silly thing to not bring. Like, I knew I would need the bed again. Don't know why I left it. I should have also brought in more beds. That's a lesson to learn for the future. By the way, isn't this beautiful? Looking at that mountain being lit up. It is actually inspiring to run towards at night. I am very glad we have that. But yeah, I think people mobilize around a system. Like, you know, when a dictator goes away, what happens is another dictator replaces them. I was just learning about the civil war in Sudan today. It was a conflict I didn't know anything about. I knew that Sudan it already has a country that split away from it, and I know from people I know that, like, oh yeah, the UAE is involved in some way. But I just didn't know really anything beyond that. And so I looked into it, and it's like, oh yeah, it's a country that had like 3 coups in the last 5 years. Now, once you do that enough times in a row, the rules become, whether you make it formal or not. Oh god, oh god! The rules of that country, whether they like it or not, have become, if you want to rule the country, you overthrow the government who exists there already. And that's a really terrifying thing. Because it takes a generation for people to believe, like, oh yeah, but this is the permanent government now. This is the real government. This is the real deal, not just the people who overthrew the last guys. Okay, let's make 3 piles. Should we go for more than 3 piles? I think we'll start with 3. Spruce slabs, spruce slabs, spruce slabs. Go crazy. And then we'll make another, like, 48, let's say. See what that creates. And then, oh dear God, we've got a problem here. Put this there, and then this there, and then there we go. Make the rest of that in slabs, and now let's go again. Okay. Oh, look at this. We got a lovely little section of terrain here, and a goat. Kind of scarily. Northwest and Northeast Sudan next. Good 2-cat video. Glad you liked it. As of late 1804, the journalist Harry Croswell lost a series of prosecutions and appeals because truth was not a defense against libel. So in New York, truth became a defense in 1805. So that's like, yeah, that's interesting that it wasn't a defense before that. Coal for more torches. Oh yeah, more torches would go a long way. I probably won't need them too often though. I'm hoping I won't need them too often. I might regret that decision, but we'll see. That's how kingdoms used to be run. Yeah, there's like our modern foundation of democracy is built on so many layers of trust. Like, I trust that when I've cast a vote in an election, that whoever I vote for has one more vote. I trust that whoever wins the election, the civil service and the police and the head of trains, they'll all start doing what that person says. That is not a guarantee. If the head of trains really wants a government that nationalizes the trains, and then the train minister comes in and he goes, you know, we're going to privatize these trains and there's going to be 15 million train companies, a train company for every citizen in the UK, they're going to say no. They could say no. They don't, though. I trust that they won't. There's so much trust that you require to go into a system that you care about. And so if you ever look into, you know, not any offense to, you know, nothing again, always have to be clear, not the Russian people, but the Russian government. If you look into the misinformation the Russian government will share, because they're a system that don't have trust, they're really effective at exporting that lack of trust to the world. Like, oh, yeah, sure would be a shame if your government was deliberately letting votes come in fake via, I don't know, postal, I think is the thing people don't like. And so, like, but the problem is because sometimes we do have to be distrustful. Like I am fully trusting chat. Genuinely to the point where my life would be ruined if this trust were misplaced. I am trustful that if I am taken to court for a crime I didn't commit, I am pretty confident that a judge would see I didn't commit it. You know, as long as, like, if there was a conspiracy to, like, make it look like I did something, I'm boned, I guess. But if, like, someone says, hey, you killed my girlfriend, I think I could prove, like, look, I was streaming Minecraft that day. I couldn't have killed his girlfriend. I don't even like killing women. I mostly kill dogs. Here's a picture of a dog I killed. I haven't killed any dogs, and Sonic didn't do 9/11, just to be clear. But yeah, I don't trust any of it, but I participate in the hope that I'm being too cynical. See, even that though, that's healthier than what a lot of people around the world believe in. The majority of the world does not live in a healthy democracy, where they actually get to have a say in how things are run, where systems are actually run for the benefit of the people, or at least the majority of the people. How does a penguin build its house? No, that's a fun. Why don't you talk about autism? Says Oxycage. So Oxycage, get this. There is a really easy way you can learn about it. So I uploaded a video yesterday night called "Why I Don't Talk About Autism Publicly," and I did it in a members only video just because I felt like, you know what, I want to get this off my chest, but also I'm deliberately not talking about this publicly. Yeah, interestingly, I want to talk about that video. For anyone who's watched it, great. If you haven't, I spoke about my opinions very frankly. And immediately I got some people who are like, oh, but you didn't say this, and therefore that's bad. And I thought that was a really interesting... I've wrestled with that quite a bit, actually. That, like, oh, no matter... I shared my rawest side, like, the side that I felt was least represented about this. Like, when people talk about representation... there was a thing recently where you could only join this Minecraft team if you were, I think it was the Pride event for maybe MCC. But anyway, the only way you could join it is if you were LGBTQIA plus or whatever. It's like, oh, so you are now forcing everyone to confirm that, you know, like that's actually like a problem in itself. Like, to force people to use because I'm a big labels have values, but they are not all the values. They are not most of your values. Labels are a way to find like-minded people, but the moment they become a requirement in the same way. Also, should I have not invited 500 people over for a watch party? David, did you just commit an act of mass piracy and then admit to it on the internet? Guess who's suing you in court for not slander, but lost earnings, piracy? Can you sue people? But yeah, I also, how did penguins build a house? It glues it together. Great joke. It wasn't piracy, it was friends having a good time. I mean, I would argue most actual pirates were probably just friends having a good time, committing a few crimes here and there. Yeah, I think I should have waited till I had the ice for this chat. I don't think I was ready. But I do like what I'm finding. I found a savanna biome. Savanna biomes are going to be great for savanna villages. But yeah, hi Tokat, this is my first stream. I've watched you for years, and now it's my first live stream. Happy to see you. Happy to see you too. Yeah, I think that, oh yeah, look at this. Look at where we are. Isn't it just beautiful? I think whenever you share any position, there's so much nuance that you can't easily get into. And I think talking about a controversial topic reminded me of that. So Adam Sony earlier was talking about like, oh yeah, you've had some opinions that I like bashed, you know, locked horns with. And I appreciate following up by saying like, and I don't hate you for those opinions. But it's the really tricky thing about talking about controversial subjects is kind of inherently like, unless you really thoroughly research your position and really carefully word it, you're going to seem like you are stepping on toes, deliberately or not. Like, what's an easy controversial topic off the top of our head? Chat. Who did 9/11, right? Hypothetically. Like, if I say, like, look, I'm not gonna say, I don't know, that, you know, I know that it happened, and I know that suspiciously there wasn't a Sonic game released in 2001. You know, sure seems... Also, hey! Zane Smed, thank you for 396 channel members. Is it just me, or do you look way higher than 200 blocks? I think it's the render distance that does that. Maybe I'm wrong. It does look like I'm massively high up. But it's 140 blocks above the ground, if you're curious. I stopped watching it when you said it's because it's a spectrum, everyone's autistic, but I will try and finish. It's a phrase that annoys me, but I want to see to the end. I see, but even that, I think I said, yeah, if it's a spectrum, basically everyone is, outside of the people who have, you know, like, and I think that in itself is a problem, and I think that is a part of the dumb discussion. And, you know, I think any big topic, the more you talk about it, the more you have to break down the pieces you're talking about. So, like, what is autism is a thing that you start by saying, like, yeah, I guess we have to trust, like, doctors, and so doctors would all get it from, like, the DSM, but the DSM's quite, like, they only release them every so often, and then that's assuming that it's a medical exclusive term, and the DSM is, you know, it's for diagnosing things, and so, like, is it a bad thing because it has to be diagnosed? Can you be autistic without being... So, like, you just literally just talking about can you even be something is controversial in itself. But that's why I figured, like, okay, I'm gonna just do this members only video where people aren't gonna be... Because, okay, to this day, chat, last time I spoke about something controversial, the thing that still shows up if you Google my name on all sorts of subreddits who don't like, you know, like, oh yeah, here is the actual full thoughts. They're like, here is one thing he said. I didn't say that, by the way. But that here is a thing that he said, therefore he is a bad YouTuber. It's like crazy just how shockingly common that is for people to like jump aboard something because their feelings made them think they heard something as opposed to them actually hearing something. And so I felt like a members only video was a good place to like avoid, you know, some of that. And it's kind of a shame that it has to be that way on the internet, but I guess it's the, you know, the flip side of maybe the commercialization of the internet. The fact that we have such attachments to people we watch online means we would like it if they had a lot of shared beliefs on us on places where it is important. And when people can't live up to that, then we just want to burn it all to the ground, don't we? Okay, so bunch of slabs. Now I could probably make like another stack and a half, I bet. Like stacking 36. Make it all into slabs, and oh dear God. Okay, we're gonna be fine. We're just gonna keep on making these. I'll put those on the ground and then hope that they're not all gone. And then, oh, I could have just put these piles together. And then make a bunch more. And then I've got 2 slabs sitting around. What do I even do with that? I'll leave the 2 slabs on the ground and just pick them up now. Oh, I did something wrong there. So, I think the Minecraft inventory should automatically reorganize when stuff like this happens. But it didn't, and that's fine. Okay. Onwards we go, chat. Gotta go to a dance lesson. Thankfully, looks like you'll be streaming for the next 18 hours or so far. Okay, so at 2 hours-ish, we're at about 4,000 blocks placed. So... yeah, chat, this isn't working. I scheduled my day wrong, and I am regretful for it. I do sometimes hear with my feelings. It's a slippery slope. Yeah, it's the hardest, like, honestly, it's really hard to undo hearing with your feelings. And what's worse is then you'll start talking with your feelings, and you'll say actually hurtful stuff. And on the internet, it doesn't matter. Like, if you say hurtful things to me, like, you know, I'm apparently here to absorb those hurtful things. Things are always hard to look at objectively when we have emotional and personal attachment. Yeah, it's so hard. Like, I don't know, like, there are things that are really important to me that when people say things, I'm just like, yeah, I'm not. The exact details of what you're saying aren't what I'm absorbing. I'm just absorbing that you hate me right now. It's really hard. Isn't everything a spectrum or a range? Yeah, and then that's an even more interesting point. That if everything is a spectrum, then nothing is a spectrum. Like, yellow is a spectrum. This stream is a spectrum. You know, Minecraft is a spectrum. I would argue playing hardcore Minecraft is the most Minecraft. And playing, you know, like... playing the Vibrant Visuals Adventure map, it's technically Minecraft. Or the Dragon Ball Z map. It's like, it's Minecraft, but it's not at the same time, right? We aren't on a spectrum. We are nodes on a fractal. We are identical, but infinity apart. Yeah, one of my like realist beliefs that I intend to express over and over again, even when people will be upset. I thank you, Ruby Doo, by the way, for the well thought out comment too. Is the range of people with no autism, people with severe autism? I mean, if you say it's a spectrum, that means there is someone in the world who is the most autistic, right? But no, the whole concept of the whole thing I think is most important. This ties in freedom of speech, autism, and everything else that I will ever discuss. Is that above everything else, you are an individual. Above everything else, you are an individual, and grouping yourself is something you choose to do, and you get to choose to do it because you're an individual. People grouping you on your behalf is always quite bad. Like, I think even, like, I think objective terms are, like, fine. So, I am, you know, I am a Minecraft YouTuber. Even then, that's not quite true. I'm definitely a YouTuber, right? But, like, you know, some of my income comes from streaming. And, you know, Josh Jones gave me $20 earlier. We had David tipping. So I get money from tips, and a few people become members. That's a big thing. But also, I sell add-ons on the marketplace. I had a year once, chat, where I earned a third of my money from selling books. It was before I had a very big YouTube channel, but it was still, like, you know, am I an author? Like, why do you get to define me as a Minecraft YouTuber? So there's already a level of that, but I think, like, that's fine enough, right? If you say I'm a YouTuber, chill. if you say like I am white, I mean I like factually not, right? I like you're making a skin-based assessment there. Like I am a quarter Sri Lankan. I am Asian. British Asian is my correct designation. But like when you picture someone who is that, you don't picture me. So therefore, is it useful to use that term on me? And if I describe myself as that, am I broadening the definition of the term? Or am I just making you, am I broadening your definition of the term when you understand it or not? The semantics of what a category even is really break down quickly for me. Like I am, there's a #1 globally ranked player for autism out there somewhere. But then there's the interesting thing of like, even if we wanted to find out who that was, how would you define it? Then it's really, really, really good. My favorite colors are all on the blue spectrum. It's been pretty chill so far, thankfully. I am glad to. Yeah, I think everything is tricky to. Like, I am IBX Toycat because that is a name I have chosen for myself. I am not innately IBX Toycat, and IBX Toycat does not innately mean me. It means that if you have heard that name and you can tie it into my videos. It's midday, that's great. Also, day 222. Didn't even appreciate it till just now. We're going over an ocean now, which is a bit of a drag, but that's totally fine. Thanks for saying I'm critical of the government, not the people earlier. By the way, I appreciate it. I think it's important as a, like, okay, so this is my, like, I want to reiterate it a billion times, even when you're not, like, specifically, this isn't like me pandering to you because you're in the room, Dasher. It's my real, like, I think it is really important. What do you tick when it comes to your race ethnicity? It depends on the form. It depends on the form. Like, the correct definition is British Asian. But, for an easy life. If I think it would benefit me, I'm sure I would just tick English or whatever. But I'm only half English. Or even half British, actually. Bridges are meant to connect two places. What places will this bridge connect? Great question, Bearded Man. But yeah, I believe that we too often focus, especially as the world is getting quite nationalistic, right? I'm not going to point fingers, but we're getting quite nationalistic, and we're talking about the concept of refugees, etc. Like I heard something. I heard someone, a friend of a friend of a friend, or something like that, is a British. I don't know if this story is even true, but so like someone told me that they knew someone in America. No, actually, I think I heard this at comedy. That's where I heard this. Chat. Someone told me that they knew a British person in America who was there illegally. They're an illegal British immigrant, and the guy made the joke of like, yeah, you got to admit that's funny because like most people, if they get deported, that's their life going downhill. If you get deported, then it's chill. It's just a flight back home to the UK for free. But there's an interesting point that a lot of people would say like, oh yeah, even a lot of people who are really like pro enforcement of whatever would say like, oh, but like not for people like that's different, right? I feel like there's this weird Western glob, where how broadly you want to define it is up to you, but like all of Europe, even the rogue bits these days, certainly most of North America, most of Australasia, and even most of South America, I think people would say is like, oh yeah, maybe South America is more controversial depending on who you speak to, but like, isn't it crazy we don't have some system where it's just like, oh yeah, we can all freely live and work in each other's country? Like, wouldn't that? I think how many Russian problems would be solved if there were a hefty number of non-Russians living in Russia, from Germany and I don't know, Lithuania and Ukraine. Oh no, what'd I just do? Can't have been good. Okay, it's fine. So then we'll just make 3 more slabs. I'll just drop this on the ground. It can't be that important. But yeah, the number of problems that would be solved if there were just large numbers of, you know, like, I don't know. Maybe that's me being like too simplistic in my own right. It's probably important to declare your Asian heritage or medical forms. Yeah, like there are different diseases that affect different ethnicities, right? I think I learned this from a Netflix show, but you get sickle cell if you are... I don't even understand how it can be true, but you're more likely to be lactose intolerant if you're East Asian. You get sickle cell if you're, you know, African origin. White people get alcoholism a little bit easier. Even as a crime, that's a spectrum of sentences. yeah. Wait, did I place that in my bed yet? Genuinely though, right? Like legitimately in a non-sarcastic funny way, there's like, what does it even mean to be British for the sake of that comment? What does it mean to be an immigrant? What does it mean to... What do I mean when I say the West? Because Russia is about as far east as you can get when you're using the term East and West. We have plenty of immigrants from Central Asia and Moscow, a bit less in other cities. Okay, we're alive still. Life is good. So I'll drop this again and hope it's still there when I come back. And now we get back to the bridging chat. Man, I'm amazed at how long it takes to bridge. But it's fine. Also fewer. Very Stannis Baratheon of you. But yeah, the spectrum of what it means to be a European is even quite broad. Being British is liking being British, liking Yorkshire puddings and complaining about the weather. See, maybe that is true. So, you know, Ruby do you like Yorkshire puddings? I think they're pretty good. I think they're really good. Yeah, I think I think that there is this like broad Western blob that like generally everyone is like, oh yeah, chill. You know, at the extreme ends, you know, there's always a bit of people who dislike them. But yeah, New Zealand is considered part of the West. Yeah, New Zealand is so far east that it falls off maps, Jaden. New Zealand is so like it is. You are in a time zone so far east that you pretend you live in New Zealand when you want to access things a day early. Like, at the set, you know, like, that is true, and yet that is part of the West. Whereas, you know, you take, like, I don't know, Mexico, which is, like, my editor, Naito, lives 8 hours west of me, and he lives in the east, whereas Jaden can live 13 hours east and he's in the west. What logic are we using to define these terms? Honestly, most of the West isn't even in the West. It's like it's a dumb term. I think most terms are dumb terms. I think most categorizations are dumb categorizations. Whew. Okay, chat. If I'd have done this bridge originally, I could have found my jungle and I could have found my mountains from the same pathway. This is why planning is important. This is why planning is so important. I have roast dinners with Yorkshire puddings, then make more stuff to do leftover roast dinner. One of my most controversial opinions is I like my Yorkshire puddings medium rare. Like, so often you go out to a pub or something to get a Yorkshire pudding. Because Yorkshire puddings are a spectrum, chat. Yorkshire puddings are such a spectrum. It might seem like it's just butter, milk, and eggs. I don't know what they're made out of. That sounds right, though. But you can get Yorkshire puddings that are like a piece of crackling. It's just like... It's like biting into a piece of burnt bread. And you can get Yorkshire puddings that's like stuffing. You know, it's like... When the sun rises in the west, New Zealand, and sets in the east, Mexico. New Zealand is Atlantis confirmed. The amount of maps I've seen sold in NZ that don't have New Zealand is crazy. Yeah, I have a... I have a new map for my bedroom. And I look at it at night. It's good. It's achieving the thing. I love Yorkshire pudding in all states. I can't judge you on that. Yeah, weirdly enough, I struggle with should you put... See, this is another way. Look, let's talk about the intersectionality of Yorkshire puddings. Because Yorkshire puddings are a spectrum in how cooked they are, but also how much gravy you put on them, but also the size. You can get Yorkshire puddings that are so big you put your entire dinner in them. You get Yorkshire puddings that are closed off, so if you wanted to put stuff in them, you couldn't. You can get Yorkshire puddings where the where you know, like, they're basically made for gravy. Where if you don't have gravy on them, it's like kind of a disgusting snack. And you get Yorkshire puddings where it's like, yeah, if you put gravy on them, you're gonna ruin the... Where do I get a medium rare Yorkshire pudding, chat? You have to make them. I bought the Aunt Bessie ones from the store. Aunt Bessie is not sending her best, let me tell you. I think the sickle cell might come from old plumbing, though. That can't be true, because they... I mean, unless it's like, you get it genetically from... You know, I don't even know what that is. James Weston. On the radio, they were discussing what we would identify as being British. Like, for French, there's that music, croissants and baguette smell. But do we do the same for us? We don't have a food for being British. Although I'd argue the roast dinner and beans on toast have done a pretty good job, culturally speaking. And, you know, like, we have good food, but then we also have, like, weird food. Like, black pudding is, or if you live in Scotland, haggis. Or if you live in Northern Ireland, white pudding. Or if you live in Wales, you know, like, sheep. We have food. I think we have music. Like, I think I would have to concede, like, the Beatles is probably generic British music, but also, like, I know a lot of classical music. What's that one song? Like, you know, I'm not going to do classical music for you right now. But we have Grand Theft Auto is British, if I'm not mistaken. I'm, like, 99% sure GTA is British. I do feel like we have... I think that the UK has a problem of we are a bit of like a compromise of a country in some ways. Where we're like, oh yeah, you can be anything you want in the UK. And that's like a fine way to run a country. But also, yeah, I think we do need to like specifically rebuild some form of what it means to national... Like, you know, like we had a discussion about, you know, there was a discussion about whether using flags is offensive or not. And it's like, well, I mean, how do you have a country without being able to display a symbol of what it means to live in that country? Sheep's not weird, lamb is reasonable and delicious. Rolling Stones, generic British music too. Pudding means so many different kinds of foods in Britain, it's not like the American dessert. Yorkshire pudding, but the American dessert sounds great though. Sign me up for that. Gravy flavored, what would it be, like Jello? I'm in. You have me already. Okay, so we're getting some real distance made now. Okay, I'm going to quickly pause. The game didn't pause, it just ticked away. Okay, that's weird. Unexpected. Am I still crouched? I'm still crouched, I think. I'll crouch and uncrouch just to be sure. If you go below 200 blocks, the sea is low-keyed amazing. Cameron, is the sea amazing, or are you just seeing it from a different angle than you usually do? Genuinely ask yourself that. So, Kat, would you be interested in playing Pacific Drive? No. I played it for a bit, and I just had such a bad time. I never want to pick up that game again. Never again will I. I don't know what constitutes pudding as Europe, because I've seen so many different things called pudding. Oh yeah, I just called black pudding and white pudding, and they're very different to the dessert pudding, which is very different to the American pudding, which is very different to Yorkshire pudding. Yeah, it's a fun word. Pudding was my nickname as a child. Not from my parents, I think. I don't know if that was offensive. I do like pudding, and I probably was a tubby 5-year-old. I love food, chat. I love food. I've been recently trying to work out, because like my default is like, I need to entertain people. People love being entertained by food. I'm trying to work out like casual activities for all groups and ages that are not food. I mean, Yorkshire pudding's just pancake mix, but cooked differently. Yeah, you are right about that. I feel like there's some flour in there. Maybe, I guess there's flour in pancakes too. It's very interesting listening to you. You're so smart and I'm envious, says Zane Smed. Thank you for saying I'm smart. I don't believe... I think that I have such barely above average intelligence. And I only think that because I go on public transport and see people listening to TikToks of AI voices. Like, that's the only thing that convinces me it's that way. I think expressing yourself is hard. I think if you're keeping up with everything I'm saying, I bet you are inside your brain thinking much smarter things in response, right? I think what I am saying right now is probably scratching the surface of what is inside your own brain. I got chubby in my mid to late 20s. Now I'm getting help losing it. Yeah, I recently had a bit of a crisis where I'm like, yeah, I've continuously been accepting a slightly higher weight. I need to have like a big reset. And so that's something I'm going on soon. Actually, I feel like I've been having an effective enough week with it. Okay, so you know what, chat? I'm doing something fun tomorrow. I don't wanna dox myself or anything. But I'm going to I think it's a pickle festival. It's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm gonna eat so many pickles. And the fun thing about pickles, this is a pro tip for anyone with an eating disorder, is you can eat as many pickles as you like, and they don't have any calories. So pro tip, infinite pickle glitch. They don't want you to know this one, but I want you to know this one. So 21 makes 42. Then we'll make another. It's too much of a nightmare. Let's not do it. I'm gonna need sleep soon, so I can set up my bed then run back for it. But I just won't do that. Actually, I will. I'll use an entire stack and then I'll get this done. My IQ is challenged every time I have to formulate a chat message. My smarts are all about food now. Ah, Dunderline, that is my favorite thing. Pickles like celery, dang. Yeah, there's quite a few like this is if you love food, it's really useful to just learn like instinctively. I think we're surrounded by a society. Hey, 18 quid for 18k and the Royal.
18 quid for 18k and the Royal Realm Review Fund. Cheers.
Cheers, Brian Harshman. Massively appreciate it. Shy Guy, I love you. Toy Cat, what about Project Zomboid? What is Project Zomboid? I have no clue. Don't like that. Don't like this at all. So I'll make my bed spot here, I guess. Yeah, we'll make a little bed spot. Really don't like how that played out. But that's okay. Life is about things you don't like sometimes. Whew. Okay, so it feels like blasphemy to add sugar to cucumber pickles. Oh, that's a point that'll make you some friends in certain countries, Hannah Joyce. I love pickles so much. I love a pickle. I eat them from others' Big Macs. Oh yeah, the McDonald's pickles are so good. I don't know what they do in that. You know, I don't know how they make them so good. I just know they do. It is truly incredible. Toycat, I'm going to bribe you to play it one day. Okay, let's find out. And Sonny, I take your comments with a very heavy. If you want to know, now that enough time has passed, the comment that made me private the video because I was like, okay, this clearly needs to go in the review pile. The last comment I read on February's video was from you. And the first comment that made me like consider like looking at yesterday's video was also yours. You have great power, Adam Sony. Use it wisely. Okay. Project Zomboid. It's an open world isometric game by British and Canadian developer The Indie Stone. Okay, so we need to pick blocks some more. So it's open world. It's set in a post-apocalyptic zombie in... Oh, okay, you know, I like that. Oh, it's in Kentucky. Ooh. Where the player is challenged to survive for as long as possible before inevitably dying. That sounds pretty fun. Oh, it looks very rough. Looks very rough. Okay, so... You are so high, sir. I'm the highest I've been in a while, that's for sure. I swig the pickle jar sometimes. Oh, I love the pickle jar. I drank some olive juice recently and it was really good. You know, that's a sign I'm getting old, chat. Also, minus 6666. That's a milestone, chat. That's a milestone. Also, there's a big desert here if we needed a camel. I kind of do like the idea of having a camel. Like, how could I not? Camels don't spawn in mesas, do they? But chat, we finally found the desert biome. It took 7,000 blocks. What other benefits do I need to get while I'm here? So, obviously camels and husk camels would be nice. What else can I get? So where is this bridge going to? Oh, I'm just building the bridge for fun. Yeah, son. It's not going anywhere. Don't worry about it. Pickled carrots are really good. Oh, pickled anything is really good. Pickled beetroot, I find, can be pretty decent. I've been drinking olive juice and pickle juice since I was a child. I won't stop. Yeah, it's so tasty. Armadillos. Oh, yeah, armadillos. We can get some of those over here, too. That'd be nice. Gold. I think we'd have to go down to the surface to get gold, and that might break our Y200 rule. It'd be cool if the mountains could generate this high, but you can see, like, these biomes are just so flat by comparison to the mountains. We're not finding anything anytime too soon. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Thanks, Toy Cat. The actual answer is there is a mountain range where there is a... did I forget to bring... No, I've got the iron ingots, thank God. But yeah, the thing that I need most is a cauldron. I'm going to put some lava above the cauldron. Didn't bring the lava. Oh, I did bring the lava. Thank God I remembered to bring the lava. I almost forgot. So we'll put a dripstone and some lava above the cauldron. We'll farm lava, make an infinite lava farm. It'll be great. Pickled eggs, olives, peppers, beet, cucumbers. They're all fantastic. Yes, they are. I could travel home via Nether Portal, actually, if I grow enough lava. Oh, that's fun. That'll be a fun little journey away from home. Kind of strange, but I like pickled eggs on my ramen. I like tea-stained eggs. That's my secret. You know what, chat? I like tea-stained eggs so much, I'll lose 95 days of Minecraft progress over it. Don't ask me more details about that hypothetical, because it is just a hypothetical, of course. My favorite of the flavors is definitely savory. I don't care for much sour, spicy, and I'm only mildly interested in sweets. Oh, I have an addiction to sweets. I think, you know, what I was saying about I love food, but the thing about food is society sees food as being a very utilitarian thing. And so the most widely available good food, or easy food, maybe good and easy food, it's usually very high calorie. Like a Big Mac is designed to give you a meal and a bit's worth of food, add in some fries and a drink, and it's you know, like, it'll get you through most days. And so your body craves that, because it's like, oh, are you going to forget to feed me later? Give me a Big Mac now, and then you won't need to. And, like, that's great for people who are specifically, like, you know, for most of human history, malnutrition has been a huge problem. So the fact that we've gone from malnutrition being the problem to, like, oh yeah, I eat too much. I have enough resources, and there are enough food options that I can unconsciously, or if I'm being honest, it's conscious, but I pretend it's unconscious. I can unconsciously eat enough food for that to be fine. Also hypothetically, we definitely didn't see anything. Yeah, it's purely hypothetical, just a, you know, educational exercise, we could say. Yeah, by the way, I'm loving how this journey has gone. It's like a really beautiful look for a Minecraft world. I love that we've gone so far from where we started that it looks like it's a different world. Very beautiful. I go back and forth where I have lots of salty and then I want sweet and so on and so forth. Yeah, I think that... thank you, by the way, Ad and Sony, for letting me know about Project Zomboid. It's very grindy. Honestly, I kind of take this view, though, of, like, I like Minecraft as my grindy game. I do play a lot of games that require hours, but I see them as, like, vices. It's like, you know, if I eat a Big Mac in a day, even though I see, you know, the Five Guys burger on the way home, I'm like, no, I can't eat that too. I'll eat some pickles. I want to eat pickles. Tell me about good pickles you found, you know? Or drinking the olive juice or pickled eggs or whatever. And, like, you know, I eat McDonald's for a job and it's great. But it's funny, this isn't even a hypothetical. This isn't an analogy. I do eat McDonald's and it is my job, chat. Don't you play RuneScape? Yeah, I go in and out of phases. I think I've been out for phase for a while. I think I'm going to end up in an in phase soon. When is Sailing coming out? They've got to give it a date by now. Sailing release date RuneScape. November 19th, 2025. Whoa, that's in 2 weeks, chat. Add that to the calendar. Dude, a huge juicy burger is a dream. Oh, I love a... Yeah. I think burgers have... The burger tech has gotten so good in our lifetime. You go to a Burger and Beyond. You go to a Honest Burgers. Oh, Nathan Den! 397. Chat. Our dream of 400 members might be coming true. Thank you, Nathan, for becoming a channel member. How many blocks are you at? So I just passed 7,000. It's a lot. I wonder what my title is. Are you a McDonald's secret shopper, Toy Cat? No, I just record videos of me eating McDonald's. I'm a McDonald's fluencer. It sounds like a joke, but I'm just describing reality and then laughing about it. Fatty fish is my true weakness, though. Oh yeah, I could eat fatty tuna all day. I landed in Japan, took the monorail, immediately ended up eating some fatty tuna on the side of the street. It was great. So Cat, I truly think playing that game would get you to 2 million subscribers and it'd bring people to Minecraft. Oh, I think the playing other games to I think I'm very lucky that I have one game that is like very popular in this way. I think a lot of people are very I think that such a wide percent of people will just tune out no matter how much they like the creator if it's a game they don't like. Like a variety channel is this like hard fought idea. It's not the default. You could say sadly, but I would say that's just how it is. You know what I think I'm going to do now? We're at 7,000 blocks. I'm going to make a diagonal pathway now to get me to 9,000. But just because I'm going to have to build this in a straight line later out of ice. I'm going to save myself some pain. I'm going to do it diagonally now, chat. I'm going to do this. It sounds silly, but I'm just going to do it. Going to bridge diagonally. And then we're going to try to get to a... Oh, no, this is the wrong way. Dasher, what are the coordinates, if you would not mind? Because I think I'm actually going that way. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's positive 11,000. So I'm glad I caught myself early. I'll deliberately build some of these blocks so that they can spawn camels, maybe. There we go. Now it's a deliberate something. I could also put a torch down over here. Yeah, that'll make sure camels spawn, right? And now I can put blocks down here and there and everywhere. And it means I can comfortably sleep here without being worried. Make sure you go in the right way for sure. Yeah, that only 36 wrongly placed blocks, and now it looks like I just have a cool place to sleep. It's weird that it's not nighttime. So I'll make some slabs in the meantime. Need to do that, obviously. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, I'm getting so many slabs per craft now. Definitely gonna be running out of everything soon. But that's okay. So 60 is a good amount to make into slabs. Perfect. Go to sleep now. Okay, so the coordinates were 11,000 positive minus 8,000. So yeah, we're going to bridge over here. Make sure this is clear. Maybe place a few more blocks that way too. And then from here, start bridging out this way. So yeah, we're just making a 1,000 block tangent. Just to make the journey more enjoyable. Oh, I didn't bring my bed with me. I need to bring my bed with me, chat. I can bring my bed with me. This looks very messy, but it is organized, I assure you. So, pick this up. Don't lose it. Can't lose it. Okay, let's go. And we're over here. Let's go. KFC UK has the Zinger Double Down. Oh, the Double Down's such a clever thing. Don't camels only spawn in a village? Hey, Victory Shout, New Zealand. I've got some great news for you. They changed it. Camels will now spawn anywhere in the desert. So if I place some blocks like here, camels could spawn on this, theoretically. Gonna place that there just to maximize the odds that they do. So yeah, camels can now spawn anywhere in a desert if it's full blocks and it's lit. There might be a height requirement, but I've never heard of it. Random time to say it, but I appreciate that I'm appreciated by this YouTube channel. You know, appreciation is a spectrum though, Ad and Sunny, so you should really consider that when feeling appreciated. See, this is the fun thing. I could have had a really wholesome moment, but it was way more fun to make a joke at the expense of everyone, myself included. I diminished my own personal connection, but actually didn't really, because people know that is how I am. People appreciate the funny in it, and that makes it more powerful. Because you can only say I hate you to a friend. You can't say I hate you to someone you hate. Someone you hate, you go, oh yeah, you're right, man. It's the rules of polite conversation. Okay, this is actually messing me up. I don't think I could do this all day. Yeah, I don't think I could do this all day at all. But we'll do it for another bunch of blocks anyway. If only for a bit of variety, right? I guess we could just bridge straight forwards. No, we can't. You do have to change the camera or that happens. So you gotta like... It can be very slight, I'm guessing. There we go. Yeah, a little change here, a little change there. But it looks like this is a faster way to bridge, technically speaking. Because of this fact. Oh, no. Tricky to stay on track, that's for sure. But it's working. Yeah, I mean, it's working outside of the times when it's not working, which describes everything ever. Toycat's love language money, and Toycat's way of appreciating people is mocking them. Exactly, Deshay. My favorite common chatter. I'm getting dizzy watching. Slow falling potion increases the height you can gain from a single firework rocket in Bedrock. Who knew? Oh, that's fun. I find it funny and like it. I got the Boss Blitz add-on and keep forgetting to use it. Oh no, Olden Fox! I mean, that's like good for me on a sales front, right? You're showing me your love language on one front and then going the opposite on the other way. Hello, I'm late. Hope the bridging is going fun. Bridging is going great. Thank you for asking, Kit Kat. I will go feral for a McRib, says Magnus. You don't need to go feral for a McRib, but it's nice that you want to. Yeah, I've got to say, the diagonal bridging seems like a fun system. Does eventually not become one, though. I think now I've committed, I do have to go a full 1,000 blocks. I don't think I have any other choice. I think the bridge just must go this way. And that is how it will be. If it gets me to a different biome, I could, like, justify it that way. I think maybe once I get to, like, 250x, then I'll just continue alongside it. And then we can argue that it's good. Or maybe I'll eventually get used to this. Maybe this becomes better over time. Maybe you'll get used to it too. Kiwi burger, goated beetroot on burgers is top tier. Or, that's a controversial opinion. That's a pineapple on pizza opinion. Don't look at the dizzy screen chat in the chat. Chat in the chat, chat. Yeah, chat in the chat, don't look at the screen chat. You can do it. I believe in you. A friend made barbecue backyard smash burgers a month ago. So delicious. Oh, yeah. I have a friend who thinks that smash burgers are getting scammed because you get so much less burger for the same price. But you get the crispy bit of the burger rather than anything else. That's the good bit about it. Burger talk. Oh, you want to talk about the best burgers? So first of all, again, McDonald's is pickle. The best pickle in the game. I think this is what McDonald's does so well. They standardize something so unique that it doesn't matter if it's cheap, it tastes like McDonald's, and everything else is irrelevant. So far ahead of the game on that one. But, I think that another, like, key ingredient is, like, sauce. I think that, like, having a good sauce in a burger really is the make or break sometimes. Like, you need to have some good tomato to, like, balance the flavor. Lettuce is good for a bit of crunch. You know, cheese can add a bit of that smooth fattiness you need. But what you really want is a good burger sauce. Or mayo. That works fine too. I think mayo, ketchup, and mustard. Add all three together. You're on to a winner. Relish if you're feeling like a bit of a outdoor burger feeling, you know. Best burger goes to Wendy's, hands down. So the first time I ever went to the US, I went for like 3 days because I found a $99 flight to Boston. And then I caught the train down to New York from there. Because I thought, like, oh, I'll see the US by train. That's a thing you can do, right? And for those two cities, it was. Anyway, so I went to the US, and one of the things I wanted to do when I was like getting on that same train, I was like, I need to try Wendy's. I've heard so much about them. I feel like I don't know what it is. Like, it's got to be like some people were Wendy's children and some people were like McDonald's children. I feel like they also I don't like McDonald's pickles. I'd give you mine, but I already promised them to Chantal. Chantal deserves your McDonald's pickles more than me. Chantal has been through the trenches to get her McDonald's pickles. Let me tell you about it. But yeah, it's okay. So we got still more spruce slabs. So that's good to know. So we've now traveled just under 8,000 blocks, chat. Looking at the time so far, that means that it's about a 6-hour journey to do all of the blocks. Being reasonable with that, I think that makes this a two-parter. So with that in mind, if this is a two-parter, because I've still got so much to do, you know, can I posit that my plan is, chat? While it is still November and not December, where things get super busy and there is no such thing as a day off, I've been trying to take at least a day off a week again. I think every YouTuber concedes eventually this doesn't work. Like, it's too hectic of a job for that to be a long-term arrangement if you actually care about things. But yeah, for me to be able to both have tomorrow actually off and then be ready and able to make a stream on Sunday, I think that means I have to finish at the halfway point today, chat. So if I'm going to stop this halfway through, how do we make that reasonable? How do we get to a halfway point where it actually makes sense as a halfway point? Because I think we also have another huge problem that I haven't probably considered, which is I only have 6 stacks of spruce logs, like 7 stacks of spruce logs. Every spruce log is worth 8 blocks, or 8 planks. So every one of these is worth 512. This is only enough to get me 3,500 more blocks. I need to go back, chat. So do we go back at the end of today? Do I hit my 9,000 blocks and then I run home? Or do I run home now so that I can get to 9,000 blocks? And then we start smooth and clean for the next one. Finish the slabs you have. Oh, do I finish the slabs I have and then go for the turning around point? That could be clever, Ruby-Doo. Yeah, this has been a journey. It's been a really cool one to see a lot of a Minecraft world. End it by going back. Number of blocks to travel divided by 2. Oh, yeah, that's a clever way to remind it. So if I need to go 9,000 blocks, I need to have 18 stacks of blocks. If I don't have that many, I'm not going to make it. Without, I don't know, like cheesing it or doing like... I could remove a lot of the slabs from this to help me get there, but I don't think that's a very effective long-term strategy or anything. So yeah, chat, that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking we have to turn around and go really far, pick up the rest of the logs, and hope that we have enough logs to actually make it. Because right now we're at exactly 8,000 blocks away, meaning there is still another 10,000 blocks to go. I'd be curious what the world size is at the end of this, to be honest. Last time I bridged so long, things did get big. To mark the halfway point, go down to the surface and plant a British flag. That's a nice idea right there. So this is... Oh no, I've got one more stack to go. Okay, so I'll place a block over here, just so I can torch it. And then we'll keep going this way. Nice diagonal route. It is a nice change to be going diagonal. It's like active working. You should get a donkey to carry more wood. Yeah, that's not actually a terrible idea. I can't get any horses or... I mean, I probably can if I do it over a plains biome long enough. I definitely should bring back all the gravel if I'm calling this a halfway point. But I think that getting the dripstone has to be my next objective. Everything else has to come second to that. Okay, so chat. this is my point where now I think I start running back home. Yeah, I run, not back home, but I run back to where I last stored logs, and I go and pick them up now. There probably was a slightly more effective time to do this, but now you're going to get to see the entirety of what we built so far, or at least a decent proportion of it, all in one run. And this diagonal run is really satisfying too. Although it makes me worry I'll fall off one of these gaps, but I'm just not going to think about that. 225 days survived, chat. 225 days. Yeah, it's so beautifully built. Even though there are little offshoots off it, it's still so nice to look at. And it feels a little less disastrous than running along a single... Like, it's effectively a 1.4 block wide pathway. But it's kind of more like 2 blocks wide. This feels good to run along, actually. I'm going to drop that controversial opinion. I quite like this. It is a really long run just to get back home, though. So it's going to be a ludicrously long run to get back to my resources. And if it's that long to run it, think about how long it is to place it. We're going for a while. Do you have lava on this world? I've got great news to share with you. I do. I could do some silly things with it if I wanted to. But I don't. Okay. Yeah, just to run the 400-ish blocks diagonally to get back to my long, flat pathway. This is an adventure by itself. The diagonal does make a nice pathway. Thank you, Katie. Appreciate your comment. I'm glad that you like it. Okay. Okay. Just angle a little more right and we'll be good. Do you see how like micro movements like that are so crucial? And that's why a controller is so handy. Doesn't matter what platform. Just matters that there is some. So now we're gonna be very careful not to fall for any of these gaps. I'm gonna place my bed just over here. Make my life a little easier. Whew. Because in the daytime it feels less scary running, you know? You know what I mean there? If you don't know, that's okay. See, I wish there was like a way to like crouch but only left to right while running. But I think I just gotta leave my... Yeah, that's about as centered as we're getting. And we'll just minorly adjust it every now and again. No looking at chat when running at high speed, says Dasher. I mean, says my imaginary friend, who is called Ivanka. Yeah. Is that a nice Slavic name? I guess no, like a good Russian name would be like I always forget them till I know it. Like also live life on the edge. Beautiful. Dash is right. It would totally be a toy cat moment to fall off during this, says Trayvon. Thank you for your comment, Trayvon. That's great. So far I'm only in episode 7. I'm glad to hear things are well. Yeah, things are well, Zanesmed. By the way, thank you so much for becoming a channel member. I mentioned this a few times, but as the channel matures and as it becomes like harder to attract new audiences, it's really, really crucial, or at least helpful. I would say crucial though, if I'm being honest. I would go that far. To work out how to find existing audiences that like something enough to support the thing. And I'm glad that you do. The time will be soon, Andrew. Skill. Thank you for saying I've got skill. It's a useful pathway. As long as my controller doesn't get unplugged, we should be good with it too. Chat, what do you think about socialism? Evil, right? You know, Balo, you did not respond to my social guilt. This is my new sales strategy, directly targeting people like, hey Balo, why aren't you a channel member? You ever consider that maybe you should be? I hear you're a regular around here. Might benefit from that green name, from that monthly subscription that I can use to buy kebabs with, and further the wealth inequality in the YouTuber dynamic we're building here. Dearest Andrew, me and my boyfriend typed in chat about how you didn't review our realm. I am a man, I can legally drink, and I'd be greatly appreciative if you looked at it. Yeah, I'd love to look at your realm. Oh, you are a man with a boyfriend. Congratulations. It'd basically be homophobic if I don't look at your realm after you clarified that so clearly. I won't become a member for a bit, and I refuse to get guilt-tripped. Now that it's worked on you, Xavier, I'm going to do it exclusively to other people. Like, Smegmeister, sure would be great if you put some money in my pocket, and then I could put some of my love into your pocket. Yeah, I've got to say, wow, Smegmeister and Balo. Smegmeister, Balo, I'm a Mr. Miser, that's why. I'll just wait until someone gifts it. Gifted membership's not the same, and we both know it. It is interesting now that we've, like, the members-only Let's Plays are a really interesting, like, mire of content. For that reason. It's interesting how many people want to watch them. I had a couple of people be like, yeah, I remember just for this. And it's like, that is interesting. Of course, I watch you so long, and it seems fair to support you monetarily. You're like Netflix, but I actually watch you. I watched a new show on Netflix recently, chat. It's called The Four Seasons. And I think it's a good example of how to do, like, just having fun as a show. And I kind of liked it. It felt like, you know, like sometimes you watch YouTubers and it's like, oh, they did this so they could tax write off their trip somewhere. It felt like that, but for actors, and I find that charming. You know, there are some ways that you actually want actors to be like personalities or whatever. Oh, a brand new block. That might help with my pathway intentions. Oh, my hands are so sweaty, chat. But yeah, I don't see myself making any giant mistakes here. If I do, I feel good that I've survived 226 days. At the start of the stream, I was so on edge. I was like, oh god, everything today has been a little all over the place. And so it's good to be in something like we are right now. Right guy Mick Murphman says there are more members that will stay when there's a feeling they're getting something for their money. Yeah, that's... I kind of took the view that if you give... Like, now I'm effectively saying it's a Let's Play series that you pay £1.25 an episode for, right? Or, like, maybe £1.50 an episode or something like that. And that feels like when you give objective ways to create value. Yeah, I know, I think it's a weird way. It's like when YouTube Premium had original series that you got. It used to be when you paid for YouTube Premium, or YouTube Red as it was called, you would not just get ad-free viewing, you'd get a bunch of exclusive shows. Oh, my hand's so sweaty, chat. My hands are just on fire. It's such a long run. It's such a long run. But weirdly, that made it feel like worse value. Because the shows weren't very good. And I'm not saying my members' content isn't very good, but specifically, I want to make sure the point of the membership is you're helping to make things free for everyone else. The content is a bonus. The content is stuff that I would like to make, etc. I like being a member because I get to watch the member-only video of Toy Cat throwing frozen burritos at homeless people. Oh, that's one of the classics that you'll get if you become a member right now. Balo999. I'm sorry for guilting you, Balo999. You can be a miser. That's what the point of the internet is. Honestly, it's kind of going away, right? I think this isn't... Okay. I've been really putting some thought into this. Okay, we're running a bit too far left now. I put some real thought into this, actually. That, like, when the internet was first created, there was very much this idea of, like, yeah, we're making it so that there is a cool thing for people. It's kind of like, I don't know, when any form of art is first created, when artists first start singing and touring. It's like, yeah, we're doing this for love. Like, why wouldn't we be? People get into that for that reason. But as more people get into something trying to make money, as more websites exist and apps exist, not as ways to provide a service, but as ways to make a $1 trillion or $1 billion company unicorns. By the way, isn't it so cool? Look at these mountains as we run past them. I love the way this world looks. It's incredible. Do you not have an Elytra? Where would I get an Elytra from without going below Y200 real flow? Give me the answer to that question, and I've got a stone shovel, for God's sake. You think I've got an Elytra and a stone shovel? I've got bad news for you if so. Yeah, Adam Sony, to your comment, I wanna respond to your comment from yesterday's video right here before finishing my own thought. Because you said something along the lines of, like, when I actually describe what I'm like, I say I have bad autism. And I thought that was a really interesting point, because it's like, yeah, actually. The descriptor itself, I feel like the best way to actually understand people usually is with, like, oh, it's like this, but it's not this. Here's something you know that it's kind of similar to, but specifically not the same as. Yeah, chat, I think I'm going to mine some gravel while I'm here. I should technically mine the gravel with a silk touch hoe, because every gravel that turns into flint is a giant cost to me. But I'll just use the shovel. Nah, let's not be crazy. Let's do this the best way that we can. Stonerite shovel. Yeah, I think when you enchant a stone shovel, it looks pretty cool. I've been using enchanted stone tools for my my beta videos for a few weeks. No one's even noticed. Everyone just assumes that they're enchanted netherite tools. Or everyone just assumes that it's the sort of thing I do and therefore it's not notable. I'll concede it could be that one. Hey, thank you, Dazed and Confused. I'm gonna go pick up that gravel. I want to bring it, even if I just bring it to a boat to bring home. That's like one massive task to like remove from right here, right now. And so that's a useful thing I will do. Okay. Oh, I think if we use a torch, it will have the same effect, right? Yeah, we won't be able to get... Okay, go. You're not able to get flint when you use a torch, which is a really useful tip for maximizing your gravel intake. Chat, I want to get so much gravel because every piece of gravel can be turned into dirt indirectly. So to find a bunch of it just while on the way somewhere, incredible find. The best find. And look at that. I've got one piece of flint for 29 pieces of gravel so far. This is the sort of odds you only get when you're speedrunning and you desperately need flint. But I got it while specifically not needing flint. Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. I'm going to have so much dirt, chat, for the first time in forever. Honestly, I think maybe it's worth seeking out gravel specifically for this reason. So I can make myself like giant sheep farms or whatever else I want to look for. Also, I am getting flint from the blocks breaking, I think. So maybe I'm wrong about that effect. Also, let's go to sleep before any mobs spawn, for anything bad happens. Do Gifted not play music anymore? Oh, is it? Did it not play any music? I heard some music. There's definitely an irony in me not getting a membership, isn't there? Yeah, do you see? Xavier was like, oh, yeah, you guilty being it worked. And you were like, no, never. And I'm just saying, the magic algorithm, which I don't have any say in, decided to pick that way. So pick up those torches again. Yeah, is it just the blocks I'm breaking that are giving them to me, or is it more of them too? Okay, so I'm definitely going to end up with too much flint, which is a problem in its own right, don't get me wrong. But not the world's biggest problem. We'll pick up these single blocks because there's not really anything else we can do about it. And then these single blocks. And then back to using torches. Yeah, to end up with 96... No, sorry, 95... 93 gravel. Oh, plus more. I think that's a pretty good return from today. I think I'm not going to be able to use this for like hours of gameplay. But I love that I've got it ready for when I am. I've got it ready for when I'm ready. Which is great. Is that the only pile of gravel that I found here? Disappointingly, it looks like it, right? Yeah, it was the same pile of gravel I saw on both sides of the mountain. So, but still, 96 gravel. I'm happy with it. I'll take it. That's a win from me. Gotta be careful not to take too much damage, but I'm not that bothered otherwise. Yeah, there's 2 goats there, which is fun. I did get a goat horn, which is extra fun. But stone, snowballs, snowballs, stone. I'll take it all back with me, just for the fun of it. Okay, let's go. Almost back at the boat, which has all of the wood that I actually need. Like, it feels intentionally spiteful. I know it's just random, and therefore, yeah, I think when you most need things is when the world feels most spiteful for not giving it to you. You know, I would love a Nando's black card, chat, or a whatever. I would love a KFC black card. I take any fast food restaurant's black card. But the fact that I would use one is probably one of the biggest reasons why they would not want to give me one. Whereas you give it to Ed Sheeran or insert famous celebrity here, and it's like, how often are they eating fast food? Let alone your fast food. Let alone eating your fast food and thinking, oh, I've got a card, let me pay for this. You know, chat, actually, I got free tacos yesterday. I had my closest thing to there's a Mexican place in London, Club Mexicana. And I ordered like I ordered like 2 burritos from them and some nachos. Like it was a big order, and they just spent hours spinning around and doing nothing. And so I got a £5 credit from Deliveroo for like, sorry about that. We're meant to deliver food and we just didn't on this occasion. And then also the restaurant messaged me and were like, oh yeah, you can have some tacos on us. And then when we went in to get the tacos, also got some nachos. And it's like, man, I just got £30 of free food, plus £5 in actual cash money I can use for more food. I was feeling very rich, let me tell you. Yeah, people in chat will know when I have a job. I'll be a consistent member. I hope you're doing well, by the way, in your current state, Xavier. Also, were they real tacos? Oh, not to a North American sense of that word. I think if you're picky about your tacos, you will never like a taco that comes from outside of North America. It's just a fact. It's not a happy fact, but it is a fact. Whew. That's a weird way to say nachos. Nachos? Oh, nacho. Oh, I love my nachos. They're so good with my tacos. I love when you put them together. Like I put my tacos together. I open up the tacos and then I put the little nacho chips in there. Yeah, it's so good. Let me tell you about it. The only thing I like more than that is I love when you have to drive 30 minutes to the grocery store. It's so good. You get to refresh your mind on the drive, you know? I don't know what this accent's become, but it's definitely not a Valley Girl anymore. I'm having some health issues that I need to address again, but things are looking up otherwise. I'm glad to hear. I don't know if it was you that said you did this, but I did a spin class recently, and I was like, this is the most exhausting hour of my life. So anyone who's pulled that off, great job. Also, £5 taco. It's free for £13 though. So that's only £4.30 for each. I think it's actually £13.50. That's only £4.50 each. It was never a Valley Girl. I love when the Mexican taco truck pops up so I can get cow tongue tacos. Going a bit Irish and Canadian there. No, every time I try to do Irish, if I don't do top of the morning Irish, I go Indian. It's an evolving American accent. By the way, we finally made it. That was a journey. Okay, so every stack is 500 blocks that we can go. Okay, keep that in mind, chat. How many blocks? So put it all in there. How many do I have? Right now, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's call that 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17-ish. I'm going to be able to go 8,500 blocks of that, meaning I'm not going to make it. Chat, I'm glad that I found this out, but at the same time, this is awful. I need to go back and I need to get more spruce logs. But then where am I going to put the spruce logs when I go back for them? I could bring the stone with me, but that's not going to go very far. I could bring these 15 logs with me, but it's not going to go very far. I think I miscalculated the amount of spruce logs I'd need. And I'm paying the price for it. I could hope there's another mountain along the way. Oh, I am boned on this one, chat. Okay. I need to make a big decision. And if you are watching this, let me know in the comments down below. Today I placed just under half of my 18,000 block pathway. I wanted to do it all in one stream, and I have failed. And so you can leave a comment saying you failed. But how do we move forwards? Do I make the gamble that I'll find some blocks along the way? Keep in mind, a single mountain would get me all the blocks I needed. Keep in mind, anything, some trees or wandering... I've got enough blocks here. Let me just really double down on my maths. Yeah, I've got the ability to go just under 9,000 blocks, and I need just over 9,000 blocks. So, I think what we're going to do... Thank you for saying well done on almost 9,000 blocks, by the way. We forgive Nuts Reznald. Good to see you, by the way. I am going to finish this. I think I should just do a double check on the route. But you know, we're going this way, chat. Next time, you're going to see me. I'm going to go back for the mountains because I think they're beautiful. Next time, we are oh, wait. I've placed this gravel away. There is no reason to bring this with me. I'll bring the stone with me, though. You know, just to be... No, I shouldn't bring the stone with me. I'll leave the stone where it is. But yeah, chat, I've got a full inventory. I'm ready. Should I bring the stone? No, I'm not bringing the stone. I'll leave that stone there. I can mine more stone if I want it. Okay, chat, I'm taking the gamble. We are going to place 9,000 blocks of wood. And in those 9,000 blocks, we need to find a mountain, which we can use to mine the next 1,000 blocks. I think that's a reasonable hope, because we only need to mine 500 blocks from a mountain. And then we can make them into slabs to get the rest done. Plus, I'm also not calculating the extra 12, because I'm saying 500 blocks for every block, but actually, it's 512. So the rounding probably gives me a decent margin of error. But yeah, next time, that is when we're doing. Live streams are not for risk-averse viewing. Yeah, next time you're gonna have to watch a lot of jitter, left, right, etc. It's gonna be a lot of fun, but I'm looking forward to seeing you that time. So that's gonna be next Friday or Saturday, depending on, I don't know, my social life. I'm also trying to catch up with everyone I know, due to my, you know, having this day off every week. But yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. So make sure to catch me in that next one. As for what else we'll be streaming, on Sunday, I'm intending to do a pay-to-lose Minecraft stream, or pay-to-win Minecraft stream. Depending on how you count winning, I guess, really. It should be a lot of fun, and so make sure to see me in that one. For now, I just want to make sure we get the mountains back in view, because I want a nice motivational shot. We placed so many thousands of blocks today, and what I learned is what you learn about any Minecraft world, that there are different ways you could have done things. But I love that we have this same Minecraft world that we are slowly developing. And we are working towards this one-day goal of having ourselves... Again, it's going to be incredible. But we will one day have nether portals that connect us all. And these bridges will become the relic of the past. At least I hope. But if you want to get me closer towards those dreams, then make sure to subscribe and catch me for Season 3, Episode 2? 3? Do we count the last episode? We'll get a consistent naming scheme going. Or we won't, and that'll be part of the fun. But thank you for coming along for the first 9,000 blocks of this one. Because I'll see you... Wait, actually, wait. So, I mean, I don't have an easy place to make a bed, do I? So let's just make some slabs. Technically making my journey a little bit harder. Just a little bit, though. Let's place the slabs over here. All the way around, just make sure I can't die. Place my bed down over here. Sleep in that bed. And say that right now, as well as the accomplishment of 9,000, or just under 9,000 blocks placed, I can also say, look at me, chat. I've survived 228 days in hardcore, my current longest on Bedrock, and I've done it without ever going below Y200. Isn't that fun? Thank you, and I'll see you next week for Skygloo, and on Sunday for Pay to Win.